I wanted to sit down with you because what I appreciate is that you are able to humanize things. And I felt like from the first time we talked, like you actually care.
You got on the show, there was this perception that, okay, it's giving Tyler Perry movie.
Ooh.
You know, is Drew acting?
Yeah. Oh, are we starting off with, listen.
You and Ralph met and y'all were together within 3 months?
Yeah.
Engaged or married in 5 months?
Yes.
And you were pregnant within 8 months?
Yeah.
Do you feel like Ralph gaslit you the moment y'all met?
That has been my most recent.
What were you feeling the moment you watched Shamia and Portia meet with Ralph?
When Portia and Shamia asked, have you ever cheated on Drew? I was waiting for him to be honest. And again, I have been met with him wanting an open relationship, him wanting to have other women.
He's alleging that, in the words of Lisa Nicole Cloud, you and Ty are in a lesbian relationship. Is that true?
Well, what I can say is...
There's this narrative that you tried to solicit sex from Dennis. Were you ever attracted to Dennis?
I like biceps, not bellies. Portia was brought here to give a life and a story that she wasn't able to deliver. That is the reason my name is brought up in every scene, every episode, every moment, even in her confessionals. What I know now about Portia is she's just not a girl's girl, and she's just not a good friend.
Do you think Shamia is Portia's lapdog?
Oh, yeah. You don't speak your truth, what are you? For her to come for me about something that Portia and I already spoke about is lapdog behavior. For her not to stand on business about what she shared with Angela and I and sulk in the moment and not stand and arrive is lapdog behavior. And you know, I know a couple puppies.
There are rumors out there that you allegedly are the one who gave Kenya those photos of Britt.
Child, this is a lot. I'm tired. Like, this is a lot of just finger pointing and making Drew the scapegoat for other people's actions.
What are your thoughts on Britt in general?
She just doesn't want to live in her truth as we see all these allegations around her husband and their marriage and then her. She's just not that girl.
Would you like to see Kenya return to the show?
What happened to the days that we talk about it as grown women and sort out our differences? Like, why all the babysitting and the getting involved and erasing people from the group that really do deserve to be here?
What was the dream cast that Drew Sidora would want to surround herself with?
Oh my God, this is hard. Let's see.
Who was the most famous guy you dated?
I dated Michael B. Jordan. I've never said that out loud.
I said stand up and give it up for Carlos.
Let's have a real conversation.
we both from the hood.
What is this, child?
You guys are not going to be disappointed. It is definitely a treat.
But you know, this is the play. This is reality with the king. You can say what you want, baby.
Can we fall in love for a minute? Love for a minute. Love for a minute.
Where's my girl? Drew. Oh!
Oh!
What you saying?
Yes!
Oh! Okay!
Yes!
Okay!
Yes! Hello?
Twirl here.
Yes.
Yes! Hey, boo! I love you! Look at you! You are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Come on, Drew. You snatch, honey.
Come on. She's, you know.
What you doing?
Taking care of myself.
Okay.
Yes. Putting me first. That's the name of the game.
You got grills on too?
I do. I have my grill.
Look
We're in the studio.
Look at the grills.
Yeah, it's only right that I have. It's a vibe. You know, the studio is a vibe. It's a safe place. So
Okay.
Do you feel it?
I do feel it.
So, fun fact, I recorded my whole album here.
I love your album. No, I really do. I have a favorite song.
Which one?
I want to play it and sing it.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh my
I'm back.
I
Okay, hold
need
on.
to know.
Yes. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Yes.
I know my way around the studio.
I see you. I see you.
You know, shout out to Jocelyn. Okay.
Okay. You know, I just opened up for her. Sure did. Sure did. I opened up for her.
Aren't you going on tour too?
And I'm going on tour. I'm doing Chicago Pride, which is my hometown. So that's a big deal.
That's in July.
It is.
I want to go.
Are you coming? I was gonna say you better. In a minute, I'm about to put you in the booth.
Oh,
You have a verse.
You're about to. Okay, wait.
In you? Because I don't know what song this is.
Okay. I want to be able to because listen, it's Reality with the King.
Yes.
And the beauty of Reality with the King is I'm stepping into your reality.
I love that.
So I'm here.
Yes, we are here.
And I want to get in the booth.
What? Oh. Shit, my phone. Woo.
I got 5 on it.
Hey.
Everything you do.
Everything that you
I got 5 on it.
Yeah. I'm right here, all up in your head.
I got 5 on it.
Woo!
Okay,
That's one key, low key.
Wait. I got 5 on it.
Okay, high key, that was it.
I got 5 different languages that I can speak.
Uh-huh.
You need words of affirmations. Come and talk to me. Yeah!
Not you knowing the word.
I love the song!
Yo,
I'm telling you.
I was taking it back.
I love you. No, I'm being honest with you.
Okay, I'm about to take you on tour.
Okay.
I'm about to have you on my stage.
We're going on tour.
We're going on tour.
But-
Catch us.
Before we get on tour, I need the tea. Come on, boo.
Okay.
Better
You got
tea.
Come on.
Got me a little fancy little B low.
Look, is this the opening act right here?
No!
Yes.
We're good. I'll get started.
Because, you know, music is like your baby. You know what I mean? So it really matters. Out of all the work that I've done in my life, it really matters the most what people feel and vibe and think of my music. And me as a musical artist, you know, this by far was my scariest, you know, venture, I can say thus far in my whole career, believe it or not.
I've heard nothing you said because I'm distracted by your beauty.
Oh my God!
I know what you said.
Now you have said.
I know what you said.
Listen,
We
that.
met before, but
Yeah,
you are.
we did.
That face.
Aw.
You know what it is? I think I met you before, but your energy and your vibe is giving like, not that you weren't confident when I met you, but it's giving a certain level of calmness, serenity, happiness. You know what it is? It's giving freedom.
Ooh.
I feel like you're free.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And you are beat to the gods. Baby, you are.
Listen, for you, I had to. I mean, I was like, listen, from head to toe, I called it the best glam, okay, that I know in all of Atlanta. So.
Did you pay them? Because they said you didn't pay them.
Oh, are we starting off with, listen.
What they said you didn't pay
Who
them.
did say? Who said?
Somebody said you didn't pay them, honey.
Who said that?
I don't remember.
No, let's talk about it.
Do you want to?
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay, somebody said, one of your former glam
Okay,
said that you did not pay him and he's waiting for his Zelle or Cash
the one that
App.
beat my face today? The one that beat my face today said that?
Is he here?
Oh, yeah, he was here. They saw him. Yeah, he beat my face today. He was here. He begged for his job back.
Freedom?
Oh, yes. Freedom on the beat. Freedom. Hello, freedom on the beat. Yes. Was Freedom on the beat today, guys? And he did it for my assistants there. He did it for. Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. Because what they say is a lot of things, but I am here with you to clear up the lies.
It takes a lot to gag Carlos.
No lies told, ever, actually.
So the check cleared.
The check always clears, honey. Because my glam can tell you, my people, I really pride myself. Because I've been in business since 2005. I've been working since I was 8 years old.
Happy 20-year anniversary. No, seriously,
You know,
that's big.
it
A black
is.
woman in Hollywood, 20 years strong.
Yes.
We ain't gonna play no games.
Thank you.
Seriously.
My mom was my business manager growing up. And, she taught me and instilled in me like good work habits and integrity, And so paying people in my little business, the little engine that could, I really am happy to be able to pay my invoices. So when people say that, I'm like, well, wait, I didn't even get paid yet. You know what I mean? And
Okay,
like,
folks need to learn about Net 30.
I don't even do Net 30.
You don't?
I just learned about Net 30. And I'm like, well, hold on. Because my people, like same day service, the Zelle and the wire is sent. And so now we've done like a 3 to 5 business days, guys.
That's good.
I've gotten invoices on Christmas Eve, and I'm like, I'm with my kids, but I still send it because, I know how important it is for the holiday. So like, I really treat my people well. Like I have chef. Everybody knows my chef. I've had her on.
Keep a chef, baby.
I keep a chef, I love to throw those appreciation, employee engagement dinners, lunches, pool parties. Like, I really appreciate the people because I understand it takes a lot to show up. It does. It takes a team, and it's not just me operating it. So all those things you hear, I'm here to tell you, don't believe it.
Well, no, but that's the reason
real.
why I am here. This has been 2 years in the making.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you last season. Things couldn't work out logistically. And this year, we get a chance to sit down and clear the air. I'm a fan. You know that. And it's funny because when I met you for the first time at She by Sheree Fashion Show, you was like, you don't like me. I said, what do you mean? Drew, I never said anything bad about you. You don't like me. I said, Drew, I actually like you a lot. But what I will say this season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, it's an amazing season. And we are loving Drew Sidora.
Oh, thank you.
Do you feel the difference with the audience reception of you this season than past seasons?
I try not to get caught up in that because I kind of just, since I've come on the show, it's like I just let the cameras catch me where I am. I live my reality and I kind of leave it there. You know what I mean? So, I hear things. Obviously, people keep me in tune with what's going on, but I really don't know what the fans want. I hear things, of course, I see a few things, but I really just try to stay in my truth and in my integrity. And I just feel like, for whatever reason, I've gotten some labels that just are not real, and I wanted to sit down with you because, you may talk to people here and there and do your cute little interviews, but I felt like with you, what I appreciate is that you are able to humanize things. And I felt like from the first time we talked, like you actually care, and I just wanted to be able to have this moment to sit down to just clear up a lot of the misconceptions about me and just really give an opportunity, unfiltered, to talk about, everything, anything. I'm an open book, always have been, but sometimes what you see in the matter of a couple of minutes doesn't tell the full story.
No, and as a producer, I know that. I know that. And listen, when you came on the show, we were all excited. We know you from the game. You play iconic T-Boz Watkins in the TLC biopic on VH1. You had a long career. I love going on Twitter and seeing old movie clips of you.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are reminded that Drew Sidora has always been that girl. So when you got on the show, there was this, and we talked about this off camera a couple of years ago, there was this perception that, okay, it's giving Tyler Perry movie.
Ooh.
Is Drew acting?
Yeah.
Is she not able to sit in the moment? And I remember talking to you about that, just us chatting. And I want the world to know this. When I said that to you, to your face, you did not understand it.
Yeah.
And you were so caught off guard. You said, Carlos, do you really think I'm not being real? And I was like, it comes across a little acty. And you were so, not upset by, that's the wrong word, but you talk about that. Why were you shocked by that response that I gave you?
Honestly, I was shocked because, like I said, I never really get caught up in what the fans say, or I'm an actress. People didn't like me from this role or that role or the game. And it's like, okay, that's my work. And I kind of just leave it there and move on to the next. So with this, I'm like, I chose to come on reality because it was not something I ever saw myself doing, but because I felt like people have seen me in these various roles, but never seen me as like the human being that I am and seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the struggle. And I felt like after COVID, I was going through like a ruptured Achilles. And I was like, I want to just be more vulnerable. I want to have an opportunity to connect with my family and just show me as more of like the mother, the wife, the sister, you know, all of the things that I am. So I was taken aback 'cause I'm like, all I did was show my true self. I came on the show in an Achilles rupture boot. I didn't come on the show in a Louboutin. I was literally at my lowest. And so I really just let go of all of what people would expect me to appear and was my most rawest self. So yeah, and everything that I've shown has been my real life. So when you said it to me, I was like, wait, what? Because there was never any thought that it wasn't, you know what I mean, real, because I was living and sitting in my truth to the point where I came on the show really to show like Black love. You know, Ralph and I talked about showing Black love, family, believers. We showed my church my mom had, you know, that was what we wanted. And where we ended up was completely opposite. It was the toxicity of our marriage. And that's not what I wanted. So that was actually my worst nightmare. You know what I mean? But when people thought it was fake, I'm like, I wish it was, you know, because this is not the reality I ever wanted to show the world.
And we are seeing that reality this season because what we did learn this past episode was you guys, you and Ralph, met and then y'all were together within 3 months?
Yeah.
Engaged within, or married in 5 months?
Yes.
And you were pregnant within 8 months?
Yeah.
Now, Ralph is fine.
Oh, God.
Now, I'm going to give you that.
Well, I mean.
He's definitely cornbread fed. He looks like a big Snickers. Like, you know.
He works out in the gym. I mean.
No, Ralph is fine.
Yeah.
So I understand the. Acceleration.
Okay. Yep. Period.
I get it. I get it. But in hindsight, knowing what you're going through now, and we'll get to that.
Oh.
Do you feel like Ralph gaslit you the moment y'all met?
Ooh, coming right out with it, right? That has been my most recent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need a tissue. I'm sorry. We got some in the bathroom if there's none in there. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Dang, I was pretty for like
Listen.
Now it's all going down here.
The face is the face, honey. No one can deny the face card.
Okay. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Reset a little bit. This is why, it did take me a while to have this sit down because back then when you asked me, I knew I couldn't even get through a sentence really, at that time to talk through like my feelings. I am in a much better space, but there are still wounds, that need to be healed. And I think because we are on this show and I'm watching things in real time with everyone, and I'm seeing his actions and his behavior, it is having me to ponder what you just asked, which is like, was it ever real? Everything I thought is having me to consider like, but was it ever love? Did he ever respect me? Because someone that would go and have dinner with your ops, right? And sit there and bash you. And let's be honest, like I'm still the mother of his kids. We have kids together. We were married for now 10 years. So I'm like, someone that loves you and that respects you as even just the mother of your kids wouldn't behave this way. So then I just said to someone, I said, unless they never really loved you and they never really respected you. And that's where my train of thought has been. Because for me, I've never set out to bash Ralph. I have done nothing but tried to protect him for his actions and tried to gain understanding for his actions. And as you see this season, I'm not sitting around talking about Ralph. I'm talking about my healing. And it was very, very hurtful to see that scene with him, Portia, and Shamia.
When you saw Shamia and Portia meet with your estranged husband, what was your knee-jerk reaction to that knowledge? Like, did you find out before the episode aired or the trailer even?
Yeah.
Or even if you did, was it a gut punch to you to watch it and to hear what he said? Like, walk me through that moment because, listen, I love Portia, I love Shamia, and I said this on my podcast. I said, look, I got to be honest. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the scene, and I gave my reasons why. I'm not here to regurgitate that.
Yeah.
I'm not married to Ralph, and I don't have kids by him. So I am curious to know, what were you feeling the moment you watched Shamia and Portia meet with Ralph?
So during filming, I heard that they filmed together. But it was like variations. Like it almost sounded like they ran into each other at a restaurant. And so it was kind of like, oh yeah, they had some words and that was it. I didn't know it was like a planned sit down situation. So when I watched it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is giving like a full scene. This is like everyone knew and they are here together and they're happy to see each other. And I'm like, wow. And I like what they did in trying to cover it in a meeting of a podcast. I see what you tried to do there. Okay. But it landed flat because as we see today, there is no King and Queens podcast. We're not seeing the manifestation of that.
On Spotify?
I haven't seen it, and I think...
Oh, okay, your album is though. Okay,
the album is. It's on Apple Music and iTunes. I know Ralph in the Basement is on his YouTube. But this other podcast with Shamia, I haven't seen any remnants of that. But they had this meeting. And so let's say respectfully, it's a business meeting. All right. But it went into discussion of Drew. And that's where I felt disrespected. I felt, from Ralph being still technically legally married. I'm like, you're volunteering information that was between you and I. You know, you're sitting here entertaining text messages that aren't real because we haven't seen them. You know, you're entertaining basically a try of a takedown of me, a destruction of me and my character, and really everything I've built since the age of 8. You know, it's like on top of what I've built for myself as an actress, as a mother, and then as a wife, you're trying to destroy that. And I just didn't think it was necessary. I didn't think it was necessary. And then he never told me. He never divulged anything to me. I literally found everything out on the show. And I just felt like, regardless of if our relationship and our marriage is not working out, there's still just a level of respect that you should have for the mother of your kids.
I felt so sorry for you when you allowed us, the viewers, to follow you go to court. And the judge, at the end of the day, did not do something that you wanted, which is, I believe, was unsealing.
Unsealing.
And he was gloating. And you were so frustrated and you cried. And I remember that in that moment, I said, and I like Ralph. I met Ralph. He's a cool guy. Again, I'm watching the show, so I'm only basing it off the show. I said to myself, oh, Ralph don't like you.
Okay.
He don't.
Wow.
He don't like you. And he's determined to expose you. I got that instantly. That was maybe a few episodes ago. So when I watched the scene and he brought up Ty, and he's alleging that, in the words of Lisa Nicole Cloud, that you and Ty are in a lesbian relationship.
Oh, okay.
Is that true?
Well, what I can say is, at the time when all of this came out, right, because to be honest, I'm tired of hearing about it. It's like a year old of information. It just wasn't the right time to talk about it, honestly. I think now today, I sit here and I say, like, what I went through with Ralph over the 10 years of marriage, no one got to really see that pain and really see every detail of what he did to me. And I can promise you this, if a cardboard box would have came and showed me some attention, I would have given it, right? Ty was someone at that time that gave me attention that I wasn't getting from my husband. And I said it on the show. She was a really great friend to me that, like, as simple as put, laughed at my jokes, understood me, listened to me. And so to have someone as your husband that's supposed to be your best friend that you feel like you can talk to and tell anything to, I didn't have that. Before I ever met Ty, there was so much that happened that at that point, Ralph had moved out of the bedroom. I was speaking with the divorce attorney. He was asking for a divorce. We were in conversations of a separation. And yeah, Ty was there and a great friend. Flirting? Yeah. But like at the end of the day, we both have said it was a great friendship. And I'll still say to this day, we're friends. We're not enemies. But relationships come and go, friendships come and go. And it wasn't what he was making out to be, as far as he wanted this divorce. I was fed up. There was infidelity. There was pain. There was hurt. And I feel like he waited for a reason. He waited for a reason. And I feel like that friendship was that reason he hung on to, and he's still hanging on to, because I had an open conversation with him about Ty being a friend. He felt like it was inappropriate, so we didn't talk anymore. You know, I thought we were in a position to reconcile. And again, I have been met with him wanting an open relationship, him wanting to have other women. He's not still been honest. I was waiting when Portia and Shamia asked, have you ever cheated on Drew? I was waiting for him to be honest. And he got choked up. And he just threw out no. And I'm like, okay, if we can see it, we can see that he wasn't being honest. But I was waiting for him to be honest, because until he's honest about what we've gone through, you can't continue to point the finger and try to play victim as though you were hurt when you already wanted the divorce. Even dating back to when we lived in Chicago, he wanted the divorce.
I only want to push you as far as you want because I'm going to say this, and I'm not labeling you. I want to respect the boundaries when it comes to this topic. And you have my permission to tell me to move on, and I respect it because at the end of the day, again, I'm not labeling you. But what I will say is, as an openly gay man, I am not comfortable ever trying to out somebody or dig deep in terms of same-sex relationships, friendships, whatever. So I really want you to tell me respectfully when to stop.
Okay.
Okay, because I know you want to clear the air.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to ask you things, and I want you to answer them if you want to. When it comes to you and Ty, the way Ralph made it seem like it was more than a friendship, that you guys could have been lovers intimately. What do you have to say to that? Were you and Ty ever intimate, kiss?
Flirting, yes.
Okay.
A lot of flirting.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that there wasn't flirting. There was a lot of conversation. There was a lot of group hangouts. And for me, there were just certain things that I wasn't comfortable with, and not judging anybody for their sexual orientation. I just love my husband, you know? And so there were certain levels. Now, I can't help if, you know, Ty felt differently or how she felt. I can't speak for her. But for me, I appreciated the friendship. I appreciated the conversation. I appreciated the fun. I appreciated, you know, the distraction from what I was going through. And so much so, I mean, she was around. We hung out publicly. So I wasn't worried about people seeing us or people, but I didn't know it was going to get to this extent to where he would say the reason why he wanted to divorce was because of Ty, because that wasn't actually true.
I'm going to be honest with you. When he said that was the reason, I'm just going to be honest with you. When Ralph said the reason why we're divorcing is because of Ty, I felt that Ralph wanted to find a reason to bring up Ty. And it goes back to what I saw a few episodes ago. I just felt like Ralph is determined to embarrass you. And he wanted that to come out the way it appeared. And what I will give you props on is when he said it, they did do a flashback of a scene you did film. And everything you're saying listen, to your credit, everything you're saying to me, you said on camera, they aired that 6-second snippet.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I felt the intention was to embarrass you. Yeah. I've been around Ty before. She dated my friend Mimi Faust.
Yeah.
Ty is fine, and Ty could probably have me. I mean,
listen.
I mean, Ty is like a couple of dudes I talk to, so you know what I'm saying?
Listen, let's not pretend.
She's a pretty motherfucker. No shade.
Yeah, and swagged out. And is a really good person. And I think that's why, even to this day, we're still friends. You know, I would never say, oh, she's not a good person, or minimize or, you know, extreme our friendship. It was just the intimidation that I feel Ralph felt, which I'm not going to say, you know, I can't speak for him, but I just feel like it was an intimidation there. And I feel like he was looking and grabbing onto straws of the reason why he could depart this marriage. And for what I endured, listen, my parents were married for 60 years until my father passed away. So I grew up desiring marriage, wanting marriage, thought marriage was forever because I didn't know anything different. So the times that he asked for a divorce or I found out he was with other women, I didn't ever consider divorce. I didn't. I fought for my marriage. I fought for my kids. I fought for my family. And I just feel like he was always putting that word out there. And his behavior on the show, I felt like he showed the most toxic side of him. Because as you said, he's fine, he's nice, he's cool, he's charming. I mean, I married him for those reasons. So
what's his sign?
He's an Aquarius. He's an Aquarius.
Call me next time.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I know a few male Aquarius, child. We'll talk offline.
Listen, I'm gonna gag you.
What?
He carries the same birthday as my dad. Yeah. Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
baby, I get it.
You get it now?
Enough said. I get it. I get it. I
And
get it. I get it.
Listen, I've dated ball players. I've dated rappers, musicians, whatever, actors. But him having the same birthday as my dad, I was like, wait. You know, it had me to pay attention to him, and I really thought I was marrying my father. I did. So.
Come here.
Oh.
No, listen. I feel your energy, and I feel everything you're giving. This is the most vulnerable I've ever seen you be, seriously. And if the audience was in this room, they would feel it too. I just want you to know you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I don't want to make you cry again, but my spirit is telling me to tell you this. Your father said you did the right thing. You did the right thing. And sometimes what happens in life, you have to go through this turmoil so that you won't ever go back. And I feel like because you're because I'm from the Midwest too.
Okay, yes.
Detroit folks, Chicago folks, we don't leave our relationship. No. We just don't. We don't leave. We stay because we feel like it's tradition. Yeah. And I want you to know your father is giving you permission to leave. And the reason why you're going through this hell on earth with Ralph is because everybody in heaven, who are your guardian angels, they want you to know you can never go back. Even when you have those moments where you're crying yourself to sleep at night, and I know you do. Yeah. Even when you're around the kids, and you sometimes wonder, could I just do this for the kids? I want you to know. I know. I feel it. I feel it. I want you to know your father is giving you permission to never go back. And you're going through this hell so that it can be so disastrous that you know deep down inside you can never go back to that marriage. And I'm not calling Ralph a disaster, so don't make that the headline, y'all. But I need you to know my spirit is speaking to you, and your father is telling me to tell you you are going to be okay. You're going to be okay, and you're going to be okay financially too. You are. That was the last thing he wanted to tell you. Financially, you're going to be good.
I received that.
You're going to be good. You're going to be good. What I would like to also address, speaking of finances, is you are working with Portia's baby daddy, Dennis. And you made a comment about, girl, I'm going to sell so much music, it could pay for Pilar's college tuition for college fund. Portia did not like that at all, child. She thought you brought her daughter into the situation. I would like for you to clear the air in terms of what you meant by that comment.
Well, watching it back, what I did see was that Shamia carried that conversation to Portia, and it wasn't taken in the spirit that I said it. So that's first. Portia was like, well, that's not the way Shamia delivered it to me. The way Angela said it, she was like, okay, that's not so bad. So I want to go on record saying what I said wasn't bad. And what I was saying in that moment was because I keep getting asked the same question. Why Dennis? Why are you working with Dennis? So when Shamia asked me that in that moment, I was like, this is what Dennis himself said, which I hope I get a flashback, because he said out of his own mouth, I'm doing this to build legacy for my daughter.
He said that on camera.
He did. And he continues to say it, because I've got text messages, and he would stand here and tell you that. He is not just a hot dog man, you know? He is a serial entrepreneur, which Portia has said out of her mouth, and he said he believed in me. We stood in this studio, and he literally was emotional because he said, I believe in you so much. I know this is going to build wealth and legacy for our kids. This is going to help me put my daughter through college. So I was saying that as a way to validate his reasoning and what I believe as a blessing it would be for our families. I'm a mother. So no one was saying, and it wasn't braggadocious, but this is a blessing for all of us. You know what I mean? This is why I'm doing it. This music is bigger than me. And so that was the intention. And then when she said, well, I think her college has been paid for, I said, well, maybe whatever it can do, I feel like it's going to be able to do something. I'm not doing this to get back at Portia. This has nothing to do with Portia, actually. And I'm not doing it to be negative in any way. This is something I think can be a blessing.
When you saw that, there's this narrative that you tried to solicit sex from Dennis. And you said something along the lines, allegedly, of you want to fuck Dennis. And Dennis said he's not trying to provide dick, he's trying to provide, you know, tracks. Well, I know sometimes in studio that goes hand in hand.
Listen.
I did work on Love and Hip Hop after all.
Well.
So I want to know, were you ever attracted to Dennis? Now,
have you not seen my husband? I like a certain physique. I like biceps, not bellies. I really, no offense to Dennis. I mean, the physiques are different. That's what I'm saying. The physiques are definitely different. No? Yeah.
I'm not getting involved in that.
I'm just saying.
I like my physique.
If you know, you know. And if you see, you see. And if you know it's different, it's different. And so it's just unbelievable to me. It's like, are we believing this? And I don't think people are believing it. I don't think you're believing it. I don't think the fans are buying it. I think that Portia was brought here to give a life and a story that she wasn't able to deliver. And so that is the reason my name is brought up in every scene, every episode, every moment, even in her confessionals. So that's just what we're seeing. And it's unfortunate because in my real life, I'm dealing with so much that when I come into this friend group, it's just so far from the truth. You know, you hear the music. What we were doing was real. You see the fruits of our labor, and it wasn't easy, and it was a journey, and people really got behind it, and so much so, Portia was a fan of the music before cameras went.
What do you mean?
She and I had a conversation, and she said this on, I want to say episode 1 and maybe episode 2. She definitely said we had a conversation. Dennis invited her to my birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Dennis be inviting you to my birthday party if you had no idea? So people gotta, and I think the fans are seeing it. The fans are really smart. Like I can say this season, the people see what it really is. And what it really is that Portia and I had a conversation and I told her about me working with Dennis. Let me back up because when she was Mrs. Gubadia, I reached out to her multiple times. Multiple times. I texted her multiple times. I called her multiple times. And what I know now about Portia is she's just not a girl's girl. And she's just not a good friend. So in my reaching out to her, she was busy off living her princess African life. And no one heard from Portia. She wasn't showing up. She wasn't around us. We didn't see her. We saw her on Instagram. We saw the life on Instagram that she was putting out there. And so therefore, that's what it was. And so I didn't get any return phone calls. It was not reciprocated. It wasn't reciprocated. I'm reaching out. You're not reaching out to me. When she heard about the divorce, she never reached out to me. When I heard about her divorce, I immediately reached out to her. But at a certain point in time, and I have the text messages, where I was like, you need to call me, you know? And she said, well, let's go to eat. I said, listen, she wanted to know, what are the new girls like? I don't know about the new girls. I don't know anything. But I need to see you. I need to talk to you. Oh, not you trying to bait me. Girl, I need to talk to you because I felt like it was something that was important to talk about. So she called me. We had a conversation. She's like, yeah, I know. I love the music. I love what you and Dennis are doing. We were in this studio and Dennis will call her. Hey, girl. She knew what we were doing. She knew what we were working on. Dennis was like, she loves this track. She loves this track.
What's Portia's favorite track on your album?
All of them, child. All of them, okay? She said it. She said the album is a hit. So she loves the project as a whole. Portia called me because she apologized for not making it to my birthday party. And she said, come hang out with me and Yandy. Let's go out, girl. We need to talk and celebrate. We have so much to celebrate. We have so much to talk about with our divorces. And I was like, girl, I'm tired because my birthday party was a lot and I'm about to lay it down. And so when I saw her at Shamia's birthday party, I'm like, let's do some shots. Like, what's up, girl? I was just so happy to see my girl. So when she came at me, that's why my mouth was open. And I didn't really
You're dead.
I was flabbergasted. I'm like, ugh. I was so confused because I'm like, we definitely like talked a couple of times and we've already talked about this, because as a friend, I felt like it was important to do so. So the conversation happened. When it happened was on her terms, but it definitely happened. And there was no beef. There was no issue. There was no, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a sit down because I'm feeling away. It was none of that. So that's why I was taken aback. And I was just like, because this energy seemed to be for the camera.
When you are watching this season unfold, and obviously we did see Shamia's birthday party. We saw what happened in the first episode. And now we're seeing this destruction between Shamia and Portia's friendship. I would like for you to clear the air on this as well. Angela Oakley, your Chi-Town sis. Don't you love Angela?
I love it. Oh my God. I tried to get Angela on a few seasons ago.
I tried to tell the girls that we were trying to get Angela on. I don't know if it's season 3. I was watching it back. I'm like, I don't know if it's season 3, but maybe it was season 6.
Okay.
But we tried to get Angela. I would get calls about Angela Oakley. Yeah. I think it's when she first started dating Charles. And I think it was like 2015. No,
that would be about right. Well,
yeah. But long story short, you tried to get her on. Like I remember us trying to get her on.
Yep.
But I digress.
She's here now.
She's here now. She's doing a great job. So Angela revealed that you, her, and Shamia had dinner one night, and that allegedly Shamia put out her pinky finger and said what exactly? What did she say?
We did all that. That's exactly what happened.
So all 3, so it was like...
It was given...
It was given Power Rangers?
Yes,
so it was given that, and then it was like Unite, activation.
It was activated, but Angela said she had her fingers crossed behind her back.
Because Angela don't trust no girls. I watched the show.
Listen, I pinky swear because Shamia and I have known each other, and I feel like we have grown to build what I would consider a friendship over the years. Angela, like, I don't know you. I just met you yesterday. So I love her energy. But Shamia and I have built a rapport and a friendship over the years. But it was like this wrestling with Shamia is the best way I could put it into words. It was a wrestling. And we had a cocktail or two. And she felt vulnerable. And I feel like she felt comfortable. And she needed to get this out. And so she was like, I need us to pinky swear because what I'm about to tell you, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space. So we pinky sweared. I'm like, what's wrong, And she went on to tell us that she felt like, she needed to be real and address the issues that she has in her friendship with Portia. She went on to say how she didn't want to come across as though now she's got a peach and she's here and now she's going to tear down her friend who helped her to get on the show. She didn't want the fans to come for her in that way to feel like she's ungrateful or a bad friend. So I can tell you she was considering the fans and the look of how it would come across. As we see now, she's talking, because she's like, okay, I'm in a good place. But then she was just like, this is Portia's show. She's the HBIC. And I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the real. And she went on to say that, the friendship is not in the place that everyone thinks that it's in. She was hurt by the fact that Portia didn't come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Portia did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach, nor ever take her out to celebrate her. I would never know this. I would never know this, and I never would have thought that that was the case because Instagram shows like this great, beautiful, friendship. But there was a plethora of things that Shamia said that I feel like Shamia needs to vocalize, right? Because that's her story, that's her pain, that's her journey. But she had a lot to say about how she felt like Portia was not a good friend to her and that she has been a very loyal friend to Portia. And we only encouraged her because myself, and I've always told Angela, I told Sonia, and how I've lived on this show is speak your truth and just be you. And that's all I can say. And so we encouraged Shamia to do that. And I think with us now knowing this and Angela speaking to Portia, it was bound to come out. And it did. It came out.
Do you think Shamia is just tired of being the background singer in Portia's life?
Yeah, I think that Shamia, first and foremost, is such a humble spirit.
She is.
Such a pure soul. I just love her. I just love who she is, and she's so dynamic, and she has so much energy, and she just seems like she puts on a happy front. Like, I'm gonna just be the life of the party. I'm gonna make everybody laugh, and she doesn't really get an opportunity to open up about who she is and how she's feeling because she's never been in a position to. So the friend of the show, she became the friend in real life. The cheerleader on the court was the cheerleader that I think she was for a lot of people, you know, but particularly Portia. So seeing her in this position, I felt like this was her opportunity to exhale and release and exhale. And I just felt for her because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship, friendship, and you feel like you can't really speak your truth, but you want to clear the air so hopefully you guys can get to a better place. And, you know, I don't know if they will get to a better place. Of course, I don't wish breakups, fallouts on anybody. It's so hard and it's heartbreaking to see. But this was something she, definitely was at a breaking point and needed to get out.
Do you think Shamia is Portia's lapdog?
Oh, yeah. I stand on that. I stand on that, and I said it. You'll see, I said it. I said it a couple of times, actually.
You said it already?
Okay,
yeah. You said
I mean, because it's just, you know, I believe that's who she is because, again, you know, when you don't speak your truth, what are you? You know, if you, like I said, are barking up a tree and not being your own tree, we don't really know who you are. You know, you're under someone else's shade. You're under someone else's genealogy, someone else's truth. She's been living under Portia's shadow. And I just felt like that is the best word. People said it before me on this show. She was a lapdog. And I say it for myself now because that's what I've seen. For her to come for me about something that Portia and I already spoke about is lapdog behavior. For her to run back a very innocent conversation back to Portia and take it in any negative light is lapdog behavior. For her not to stand on business about what she shared with Angela and I and sulk in the moment and not stand and arrive is lapdog behavior. Yeah. And you know, I know a couple puppies. And I have a couple dog treats. So I can identify. You know what I mean? I mean,
you are funny.
I'm just saying. I just, you know.
Do you have any dog treats in the studio?
Listen, I think it might be some remnants. I got to keep them on hand. Running into all kind of Delulus and animals and the zoo and the jungle all together.
Lord Jesus. So when you went to Nashville, right? I love that Angela invited you. You go in, and long story short, you saw in the episode that when Portia came to the table, it was giving Portia gave y'all nothing. It was so, you know, listen, I'll just be honest. It reminded me of like my days working on this show because I know those girls so well that when they would come to a dinner scene and give nothing, I'm like, what they mad at now? What happened? You learned that she found out that Dennis was filming with you and you left the trip early. You were like, I'm out of here. And then when you watched the episode, obviously you filmed the entire season so you knew what was going on. But I want to get your thoughts on this being a married woman, right? Albeit estranged, but still a married woman who was married for 10 years. When Portia made that joke about, she better leave me alone if I fuck her husband, and you saw Shamia, Kelly, and Britt, you know, laugh at it and not say anything. And the married women in that pool is Shamia and Britt.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As a married woman yourself, if you were in that pool with them and you heard Portia make that joke, as y'all like getting buzzed, whatever, would you have done what the other girls did or would you have said something?
Listen, when Angela woke me up after she addressed the situation, because I was sleeping in my bunk bed comfortably, and when she woke me up to tell me what had happened, I was like, oh, no, we got to go outside. Who said it? And what did they say? I wanted to address it. And she was like, oh, I already addressed it. So for me, I obviously believe in the institution of marriage so much that I was like, even to the point where Angela has forgiven Portia, I'm still feeling a way about it because I'm like, when you make those type of threats about someone's husband, that's not so easily forgivable to me. Filming with my, let's be clear, husband, for me, is where she crossed the line. I think husbands, marriage is sacred. You know, you go before witnesses, your family, your friends, and before God himself. I just think it sits a little different outside of just the shade. You know, if you want to talk about, I made this innocent comment about your kids, but you're talking about someone's husband, the father of her children, I think that's a new low for Portia. And I would have definitely addressed it. And I don't think that I would have forgiven it so easily either.
Mm-hmm. You think Angela forgave Portia too easily?
Yeah, and I've told Angela that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, I believe in forgiveness, but I believe in people proving themselves in their apologies too. Because words are empty when you don't back it up with the action. So, you know, that's just my thought. But again, you know, that's Angela's fight. But I was definitely hurting for Angela, which is why I stayed even to be there for her. And we talked almost every day after that because I wanted to make sure mentally and emotionally she was okay.
You develop a great friendship, speaking of friendships, with Kenya. You know, we saw, and it's interesting because we kind of saw the development of your friendship with Kenya over the course of the seasons. Yeah. And you were there, obviously, during the whole debacle at the hair salon. Mm-hmm. And I want to get your thoughts on this because there are rumors out there that you allegedly are the one who gave Kenya those photos of Britt.
Okay. I'm so very busy, aren't I? I mean, I am dating this person and Dennis, and now what did I go to Kinko's? Did I print them and download? Child, this is a lot. I'm tired. Like, this is a lot of just finger pointing and making Drew the scapegoat for other people's actions. Kenya has gone on record, which, by the way, I miss Kenya so much, because coming from last season into this season, she was like my only friend that I really built a genuine friendship with that I felt comfortable even to share, you know, my business with and my vulnerabilities with. So I do miss her. She and I talk often still. However, the issue is Kenya didn't tell anybody what she was up to. No one knew that Kenya was looking up Britt and trying to find things wherever she found them. But no, it was not me. I don't even know how to do that stuff. I've never seen Britt in anything online like that, although I've heard about it. But no.
You've heard about what?
I've heard about her having, like, you know, porn videos and, you know, some of the girls have murmured, a lot of the girls have murmured things online, and she tried to scrub the internet and clean it up.
Prior to joining the show?
Prior to joining the show, and then obviously once this was, divulged, she tried to scrub it. Kenya said that on her confessional.
I want to say this to you. This is your best season. It's your best season because you and Angela, to me, came in not trying too hard. Just like, y'all kind of just eased in, you know what I'm saying, in two different directions. What you're giving this season is fantastic. And when you were interrogating Britt, me, the gays, the theys, the women, the men, we were all like, you are like an official meme.
Wow.
Right now. Because you were asking the right questions. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Britt in general? Do you think she is somebody you would be friends with?
Honestly, Britt, I just don't see it for her here. I think she's better maybe for like a rags to riches type show, but Housewives, nah. I think that, you know, she just doesn't want to live in her truth. As we see all these allegations around her husband and their marriage and then her, and then, you know, she's just not that girl. You know, I think she's beautiful. I would never take that away from her. And I thought that we could, you know, after our sit down. But no, it's a no for me. I think that she's just not a good fit for this circle of girls. I don't think she displays the integrity and the honesty and the truthfulness. And she just has a lot going on in her past. And her husband. Her and she. You know what I mean? Like, they just have a lot going on. And I just don't think that they are the most transparent. I think they throw a lot of stones and hide their hands. And she's just very argumentative. You know what I mean? Like, she just comes across very angry. I think that in the Kenya situation, threatening somebody with a weapon, like she did, I've never dealt with anything like that, you know, coming to work and feeling like someone is just so calm and comfortable throwing around pistol and weapons and the threats that she did. And so I feel like, although I've said it time and time again, I don't agree with how Kenya handled it, I just feel like there needed to be a conversation, a reprimanding, so to speak, about that behavior.
Would you like to see Kenya return to the show?
Yes. So much so, I was inviting her to scenes with me. Like, girl, come on. Come on, girl, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, this is our real life, right? Because let's be honest, Carlos, like,
Yes.
some people give me a hard time about my life, but I show my real life. Other people talk about their life. They talk about it. I literally show my life. So for me, if you're my friend, I'm like, why are you not coming with me? Like, come with me. I'm fighting for my friend, which is why I kept speaking up for her in her absence. I feel like she has and deserves a place here. And I just feel like, what happened to the days that we talk about it as grown women and sort out our differences? Like, why all the babysitting and the getting involved and erasing people from the group that really do deserve to be here?
You have been on the show for like, is it 5?
This is my 4th season.
This is your 4th season. Yeah. Who would you like to be on a cast with? Like, who is the dream cast that Drew Sidora would want to surround herself with?
Oh my God, this is hard. Let's see. Definitely Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just talking about Kenya. Nene.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think of Atlanta Housewives, I think of Nene. And when I see Nene, I'm like, Atlanta Housewives. So definitely Nene. At this point, bring back Sheree. Listen, I mean, Sheree and I have had our moments, yeah. But there were times where I was like, oh, hell, just come back, you know? And we have text and...
Really?
We have...
You and Sheree are texting?
We have text. I'm not gonna...
Okay, you have text.
We have text.
Okay.
And through mutual friends, we have communicated. There is, I think just with what we had going on at the time, it wasn't so far gone that we couldn't be in the space that we're in now. And I do respect who she has been on the show, who she is. And I miss our going back and forth. So I'm not going to lie. Like, I really,
But y'all, this seems so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last season's reunion, because you and her have first chair.
Yeah.
And the back and forth between the two of you were so funny. I was texting Sheree like, I am enjoying this. Like, it was so funny to me. So the fact that you can even say like, look, we had our issues, but when I look back on like what's great for the show, like Sheree's great for the show.
Yeah, Sheree and I wrote next to each other to reunion. And I'm sitting here helping her with Instagram and social media, and we're talking. And then we get to reunion, I'm like, oh, here we go. It has definitely been that type of friendship for us. But yeah, we text. I just worked with Candy and Todd.
Yes.
And Candy and I have had a clearing. And so I would say Candy, for sure. Angela, of course. Yeah, I think that about and I love Shamia. Shamia,
You want her as a housewife or a friend of?
As a friend. Well...
You want Shamia to be a friend?
I think that, if Shamia could show us her full... Like I said, I have given y'all my husband, and my estranged husband. And so I just feel like that's important for us to really get a glimpse to her as a wife, too. You know, as a housewife. We want to see that. I think that's important. Yeah. It's my little 2 cents there.
Okay. So listen, you have been famous for so many years. Although you're legally married, you are going through a divorce. Are you dating anybody right now? Is there any of your old celebrity men that you would like to, circle the block with?
Oh, gosh. Spin the block?
You have had a lot of attractive celebrity men on your roster.
Really?
Yes. I know that. Who was the most famous guy you dated?
Oh, Lord, I got destroyed for one that I sort of kind of didn't mention. Oh, Lord, we want to dig that back up. I mean, at the time, listen, he was not married.
Okay.
He was not dating. Okay, this was when we were very young. But the king of the NBA was someone, and you can dig up newspaper clippings and people wrote about us. My sister went online to set the record straight, that is truth. But I did also date Youngberg at the time when he was Youngberg, now Hitmaker. And we are still friends. I can say that I dated Michael B. Jordan. I've never said that out loud publicly. But people that know. And
you do like biceps.
Hello.
Listen.
I'm just gonna say. Oh my God.
My girl.
Only Carlos, okay?
Listen.
Come on, friend.
Listen.
And that's the truth. He was on, he asked me to be his date to the NAACP Awards.
This is Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. And this is when he was on the soap opera. He was on. And yeah, like my sister Allison, he would come over and she would cook for him. And we went out, I met his mom. And, it was great. Like, yes, that is my past, as you would say, roster. But at the end of the day, like I said, like, my parents were married for 60 years. I wanted someone that I felt compatible with. Outside of the names and who they were, I was like, I want what I see my parents having. I want that best friend. I want that person I'm attracted to, as well as I feel like we can build something together. So yeah, but dating, I've went on a couple of dates. I'm not gonna act like I haven't. I've gone on a couple of dates.
Regular guys, celebrity men, owners of establishments.
Wow, really? You really do be knowing.
Listen, I'm a journalist. Hey, Portia.
Yes. I think all the above.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, all the above. It's been, just a quick little date and just like, okay. But before I find myself going too far, I'm like, I gotta wrap this up because this one, he won't let me be great. Now, he has posted women on his social media and leaves for weeks and weekends at a time, comes home. But for me, I feel like until I wrap this up, it's just more messy, And I don't feel like I can be as available right now. But dating has been cute.
Listen, I will say this. Dating when you're either close to 40 or after 40 in this day and age, it's a little difficult, but I will say there's some gems out there, but you gotta, listen, my advice to you is to explore other areas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would say that for you.
I got you.
You got me?
I follow.
Okay, you follow?
Definitely.
You won't regret it.
I've heard. I've never tried, but I've heard.
No, listen.
You gotta diversify, honey.
You have to, like your portfolio. Diversify your portfolio of income, of, incoming men. You gotta diversify your portfolio.
Well, thank you.
But Michael B. Jordan is single, so.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm more of an organic girly. Like if it happens and we meet and we see and we vibe at this point in our lives, it has to be a natural thing for me. I don't really like the blind dates and the setups. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. And I think right now, honestly, with everything y'all see that I'm dealing with, it's like I don't really have the capacity to take anyone serious right now. And I really need to get back to a place where I trust again. Because being married for 10 years and having who you think is your person that you trust and to realize that was the ops. Basically, I look at him as almost the ops now. How do I trust somebody again, in that way? So I'm very guarded, very, very guarded.
Your album is so good. And I feel like you and Coco Jones are like bringing R&B back. In its natural form. Listen, I listened to it a lot, and first of all, listen, I feel like the world, please buy this album, stream it, whatever, but you can sing.
Thank you.
You are a singer. But talk to me about the album, because if people listen to, or when people listen to it rather, you do share a lot about what you're going through. But it's such a personal album that I really want the world to really listen to it to understand more about who Drew Sidora is.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. So talk to me about this album and why people should cop it.
This album, like I said, it is bigger than me. Not only will you listen to this album, but you will feel this album. It is a journey. So people say, well, what's your favorite record, And I'm like, for me, you can't take one record, because when you take out one record, it doesn't tell the full story. From where I was when I recorded my first record, which was Better on My Own in this studio, and just the progression of how I felt, you can literally feel the heartbreak. You can feel the days that I was like, could I rekindle this with my husband, You feel the days where I was like, F everybody, F him, and I'm outside. You feel the journey of healing. And that's really what it was. People say, why Dennis? And I'm like, why not? I got the music sent to my management, and it was the music that got us to this point. It wasn't about the person. You never know who the vehicle's gonna be. And listen, Vincent Herbert signed me to Def Jam. I was signed to Slip and Slide. I was signed to Babyface. I mean, I've worked with so many amazing producers. And yet nothing ever came out, When people say music is powerful, music is powerful. So this wasn't about the perfect situation or the perfect person. It was about the music that was coming in my inbox that I felt like was my therapy. It was speaking to my heart and my spirit. And it was what I needed in that season to get out, to help me to get to this place that you said you see as freedom, as a peace that I can sit in. Because keeping that internalized, it wasn't doing nothing for me. It really wasn't. And I can admit that now. There was things that I wasn't able to talk about or express. And I felt like with this album, I said everything I needed to say. From the good, the bad, the ugly, the blood, sweat, and tears, I literally cried on this album. And that's why I feel like it's connecting in a way that's different from anything else I've done.
And you're going on tour.
Going on tour.
Talk to me about that, boo.
God is good. I got to give it to him, because the response, obviously coming out, debuting number 4 on the charts. I'm almost gold in streams.
Congratulations!
Literally a few thousand away.
No, that's major in this climate.
It is amazing to get a plaque. I'll get my gold plaque. But the incoming calls that are coming from major labels, so we got offers to go out on tour. And now we have locked in a tour this year, literally this summer, fall, I'll be on tour.
Spring, summer, September.
Like I said, no spring, summer, fall, huh? No, honey.
Yes!
Summer, fall, period. Nothing more, nothing less. 10 city tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you're doing good. I mean, listen, the songs, excuse me, are great. The album's great. You're going on tour.
Yeah.
You're back in your acting bag.
Yes.
I want to see more of you doing that too. You've been great on Lifetime stuff that I've watched.
Thank you.
And you have fans in that industry too. And then you're on this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta is so good.
Yeah.
And you are on the most talked about reality show that's airing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot going on. We are in the middle of the rest of the season. Phaedra's coming back.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Phaedra's return to the show?
You know, Phaedra is an OG.
Mm-hmm.
So I always got to respect an OG. That's just how I operate. However, I know she didn't do a lot on Married to Medicine. And then she came on our show pretty much at the end. But I'm hoping that we'll see her next year. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
What did she do when she came back?
Well, she was trying to get to know everybody, so she gave us faces, and she gave a lot of faces, you know, and some laughs, and yeah. So I can't say anything bad, per se. You know, I can't say anything bad. I can't. And we were pretty much done. You know what I mean? The work was done. So we'll see. We'll see season 17, what's in store.
You are!
You know?
You are something else. Listen, ladies,
It's
gentlemen,
true.
gays and days, give it up for the beautiful Sidora. This has been worth it. The 2 years we've trying to do this has been worth it. Listen, I'm so proud of you. I love you. And you listen, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see what you're going to bring at this upcoming reunion. In season 17. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Love you.
I love you so much.
Oh, God, this has been so good. It's been so good.
Hey y'all, listen, I'm in the middle of my work day. Give me a second. I'm on a work call. Give me a second. Okay, so we can talk about this. It was a great interview. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Okay, what you say? Yes, it was a great interview. Listen, Drew had her Delulu moments, but I ain't gonna beat the girl up too bad. At least she. I thought I had my stuff on Do Not Disturb. But at least she, this is what I'll give her. Let's see how long it takes Portia to go sit down with Carlos King, right? Portia is one of my favorites, but I have to admit, I kind of side on her here and there. She's not one that's gonna sit down and let somebody ask her questions. And I think that we can give Drew we can give her a little break, because hey, she know we got a lot to say. She know we think a lot about her. And just to make yourself vulnerable enough to go sit down and answer the questions, be as honest as you can. I had my moments where I felt like we got a true glimpse of Drew, except for now this say hell Ty is about to turn Brandy on Basketball Wives. Yes, guys. So we gotta. Do y'all want to watch Basketball Wives? Because I'm liking this little watch party. I'm learning how to use my StreamYard. But anyway, I have to do a Basketball Wives review, and she is right. I just noticed that about Ty, because Ty was with Mimi, which who was Mimi with before then? Was Mimi with another female before she was with Ty? She was, right? She was, right? Y'all have to remind me. I feel like she was. Either way, when we watched Basketball Wives last night, Ty and Ming Lee was having a conversation, and Ty ends up, or Ming Lee, one or the other lets us know, or both, that Ming Lee was basically dated men, that Ty was the first female that she dated. And so then we see Brandy kind of get introduced to Ty, and her first thing is like, oh, Ty's cute, So they kind of doing their little flirt thing. So, but I'm going back to Ty. I have so many thoughts in my head. Excuse me, y'all. Let me slow down. Okay, so Jennifer expressed to Ty that Brandy thought she was cute. Ty took that and decided to ask Brandy to meet her at to get some clothes for like a stylist, like to go to a stylist or something. And so that was when I said, oh, I'm like, that's your thing. You like to turn out straight women. I guess, quote unquote, allegedly, I should say, but that's the representation. And it leads me to think, how could you want a serious relationship if your goal is to date straight women? Like, wouldn't that be like a self-esteem killer? Like, you are a female. And I don't know why you would want to be in competition with men. It seemed like you would very much date somebody who is clear, aware, and very much comfortable with dating the same sex. Ty was okay. That's what I thought. I thought Mimi was okay, Ariana. Okay, right. I couldn't remember. That's what I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, well, did Mimi date somebody before, or was it her the first one? So ever since we've been hearing about Ty, she's been dating straight women. And the women have been dating her as their first time lovers, I guess. And that doesn't seem like a recipe for a relationship that's going to last. It seems like you are setting yourself up. I say all that to say, when Drew gets to the question about her and Ty, she was really kind of pussyfooting around it. But all I did here when Carlos said, okay, what he say? Did y'all kiss? Were y'all intimate? He kind of ran off a few questions at one time. And the first thing I heard her say was yes. And then she kind of went to break down what she meant. I just heard yes, because the way she was circling around, like trying to figure out how to say it, I'm like, yeah, she got with the girl. And maybe I need to see this lady in person, because I mean, she seemed to have a lot of swag. If every time you get around a straight woman, the woman forgets she's straight. Is that what is that what happened? Ty and Brandy together was funny to me. It was. And see, and then that's another thing with Ty. Not only are you dating straight women, but then you're going to get these damaged women, right? These women who have had these problems with men. That's a little bit predatory. Ty, you seem like you might not be all about the right now, Ty. Ty, because it seemed like you being a little calculating with the type of women that you go and find. Well, I don't know what Ty sign is. What sign would like challenges? That would be interesting. Ty the turnout, right? Ty the turnout queen. Hell, I thought it was Candy that was always trying to turn the girls out. I see we got a Ty. But Ty and Candy are friends. I wonder if they ever got down. I don't think so, though. I think Candy like a feminine. I think she likes feminine women, which is probably why she dibble and dabble like that. If I was a lesbian, I would like a femme woman myself. I don't understand that. The stud thing. But Ty, I think like her saying she had a desire to have kids and things like that. It's like, girl, you have to get with somebody who is a lesbian. Like, stop trying to turn out the straight girls, because actually it's gonna be fun for a while until they want to go back to what they want, for real. And then here you are looking for the next one to turn out. And that doesn't mean Mimi didn't have same relations, because I think she had threesome. Right. Absolutely. But that's what I mean. So like when they was, that's the thing about threesomes. You think somebody having a threesome with you think a man and a woman is having a threesome, bring a woman into the bedroom as a threesome, and that person is going to be a stud? Yeah, no, it's going to be another femme woman. And so for that, technically, you're not really dibbling dabbling in like what's considered, at least in my mind, what would be considered like lesbian territory. You might be participating in lesbian activities, but you're gonna probably get somebody that is soft, feminine, nice body, looks pretty, all of that. Like, but the whole dating of a and I don't know if Ty considers herself stud, but she looks like one to me. And so I consider her one. Ain't nobody calling up Ty to do a threesome unless it's 3 girls. Swaggy and sexy, I think about Ty, but not sure. Wouldn't want to date her. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see it, right? As she was talking and stuff, I can see it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but you seem like you just like you actually go after straight girls, and that's a problem for me. That's a problem, because it's like, why are you competing with men? I don't understand that. Why would you? And I don't care how like studdish you are. Like, you're not a man. Like, cut it out. And why would you want to compete with one? That's so stupid. Damaged, right? Yes, damaged. And I'm looking at that a little sideways too. Do Candy act butch? She do be a little butch herself. Okay, Scorpio. Now I heard Scorpios are freaky, so that might be what's going on with her. Yeah, right. Nobody's calling a stud into a threesome. So, and like I said, so nobody, unless it's 2 women, then they're calling Ty, to get her over in the bedroom. But like I said, from that conversation, I kind of was like, say Stevie wasn't letting no time. Exactly. No, he wasn't, because he might have been sitting on the other end, real talk. But yeah, so I gathered from there that she gave us the information without being salacious and giving us too much. Of course, her and Ty did something. Now, whether and see, I don't even know how far is going far when it's two women. I don't even know. What y'all think? Like, what like qualifies as we went all the way, with a female? Or what qualifies as, oh, we just messed around? I'm thinking that they did with it like dry humping. Like they made out and they dry humped. But that might be all you need in a lesbian situation. I don't know. But that's what I'm giving. And she explained it. And listen, it made perfect sense when she said, like, my husband wasn't giving me any attention. Here's this girl. The girl got this little swag. She got this little, like, masculine energy, along with the swag. And here this girl ain't getting no attention from her husband. Yeah, she was, open for the attention. That's why I put it in the chat. Like, it's reminding me of Kyle and Morgan from Beverly Hills Housewives. That's that same situation. Put a pin in that. It's really funny how the housewives all have a common theme going on between the franchises, even with them being filmed in different seasons. Even like at the same time, they can all have like a similar like thread, like the lesbian thing and the divorce. Because Kyle is did they file for divorce? I think they did file for divorce, or maybe they still separated. No. Kyle and Mauricio is separated. She has not filed for divorce, but they separated, and all this time while she's been separated, she's been out fool-la-la with this girl, Morgan, and it looked like they got something going on, but she swear they don't. I don't know. Just read that Mimi was once in a relationship with Ty. When was like he seemed to be tiny since they were kids. Wait a minute. With T.I.? Oh, no, I didn't know that either. Well, T.I. was cheating on Tiny forever also. So there's that. I feel like there is a time frame where Mimi could have dated T.I. for sure. But they all had to know about it because, that's a little small group over there in Atlanta. Say, well, I forgot to yet. Right. That's true. And even while they because I feel like when we found out about Tiny and T.I. even being an item, I feel like they had been an item years before then, right? But he had already been kind of out with other people at the same time too. So that's what I mean. Like, yeah, he probably did date Mimi. And Atlanta, like in that little echelon of, I guess the entertainment industry, it's a small little group of them. So I'm sure that they had some pass around moments. The turnout queen. Yes, the turnout queen. That's what we calling her, honey. But exactly, that's why I say it makes perfect sense that they would have flirted. Like I said, I'm giving them dry humping. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that they didn't go all the way, but far enough, and who, like, if I wanted some attention, I don't know if I'm gonna get it from a female, but listen, if you trying to make sure if you're still alive in your lady parts, I guess you'll take it from wherever it come from. What else did we learn in this interview with Drew? Drew did discuss Portia and her relationship with Portia and the Dennis and Ralph of it all. Now, this is where I'm giving Drew grace about the scene where Shamia and Portia went and met with Ralph at the restaurant. Of course, that was Shamia doing Portia's dirty work, right? Like, oh, we want to know if she's sleeping around with Dennis. But what I'll say to Drew is that I can understand that kind of hurting her feelings a little bit, where you got somebody giving you this hard time about what you're doing with their baby daddy. And then they turn around and go meet and have lunch with your estranged husband. I thought maybe that did feel a little shysty to Drew. And I thought, like we discussed last night about Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, Shamia is the problem. Shamia is actually doing some pretty shady, shifty work. And I think that this is part of it. Right. And that's why I said she was doing Portia's dirty work to stay in Portia's good graces. However, you turned around and had some type of conversation that included Drew, Angela, and it seems like Kelly. Let me tell you why. This seemed to have made the scene prior to the meditation scene. It seemed to make sense why Kelly is the one that popped up and thought she should speak up for Shamia. Everything that Drew just said in this interview about the pinky swear, about everything that she said and the way that she described it, I thought that is like, it all adds up now. That adds up with why Kelly felt like she needed to speak up for Shamia. Because I was really confused about that. And like I said, that made me even more pissy with Shamia, because you cannot get mad at Portia for being mad at you for having these types of conversations with everybody else but her. And then, like I told y'all yesterday, that the conversation she had with the sisters, she displayed this energy. And see, I'm like, that's the energy you had to have while you were talking to these other girls, because they felt the need to speak up for you. Even though I agree 1000% with Angela, like, Shamia can hold her own. Shamia don't necessarily need anybody to speak up for her. But what Drew pointed out was that Shamia was concerned about how the fans would take it. We just said this last night and the day before, I think, because that's what I'm saying. I knew that this bad friend rap had to be because you knew that the audience would be quick to eat that up. That's and one thing I can't stand is, you know, this regurgitating. Nene said that about Portia years ago. And then you had, I think, Sheree piggyback on she not a good friend. So the whole Portia not being a good friend, that's a stain on her. For like, it's just a stain. And so that was the easiest thing to do, in my opinion, to solidify you a season 2. Because I'm sure that as much as Shamia wanted to be on this show, I'm sure she didn't want it to be a 1-season wonder. And then she's still having conversations with Kelly in the after show. So they filmed the after show after they filmed the season, and even after they filmed confessionals. And in the after show, she's having a conversation with Kelly about she'll just leave the show if it takes this much, and she doesn't have to do it. I don't understand that, Shamia, because didn't you know that from the beginning? So you still signed up for it. And I think that you knew that you was going to put your friendship on the chopping block. You knew that y'all wasn't in the same place that y'all had been, and that none of the audience knew that. So you made a decision to put your friendship on the table for the season and for the fodder of the public. And I can't blame Portia for not wanting to have anything else to do with you. I can't blame her. And again, I'm not saying that Shamia's reasons aren't valid. I just think that was real shifty, the way she moved. And I don't like shifty people like a Drew. Drew moves shifty to me too. Drew has I know. Drew has a song. It's called Delulu. That's all I know when I be hearing it. Listen, let's give Drew some props for her album. Now, here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to act like in the realm of Housewives, like, oh, Drew got the best Housewives album. The reason why is because them other housewives that had any type of song, they're not singers. I am so glad that Drew, who is actually a singer by her profession, went ahead and released a project and knocked it out the park. I do have to give her that. I'm not a fan of her. I had never heard any music of hers prior to. What is this? I had never heard any any music of hers prior to this, but I knew she sang. And like I said, she did good. And the good thing is she's a singer by profession anyhow. So that's even better. So we don't have to compare her to any other housewife that's had a song because you can't compete where you don't compare. Those other ones was just building a hobby. Yes, and we can clearly see Portia is selfish and self-centered. Yes, look how she treats her sister Lauren and her family. Other than her mom and PJ, that's true. She's a spoiled brat. That is true. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop a call in if we want time for anybody to call in. We can talk about the Drew and Carlos King interview, and then we can talk some more about this past episode of Housewives of Atlanta. But yeah, that's a problem with me too, that when people have these respect levels for just really specific people, like you don't have a generalized respect for everybody you come into contact with. That's a little phony to me. I think everybody at its bare minimum deserves the smallest form of respect. And you shouldn't have to like them, get along with them, be a part of your family, have given birth to them, like to give it. You're just kind of a mean person if you feel like that. Yes, listen, I listen to the whole album. I've only listened to like snippets. To be honest, I haven't pulled it up on Apple Music, but you know what? The girl probably does need some streams, and we can help her out. So I am going to listen to the whole album. And again, I really expect it to be all good because the few songs that I listened to, I really did like. I know they're taking forever. Do I have I don't think I have them delayed or anything. So what else did we find out about Drew? She kind of expressed herself about Ralph, just saying how they got together really fast. And now she kind of questions like if he gaslit her from the beginning. Okay, we got Miss Dogan. We're going to add her to the stage. Hello, Miss Dogan. Oh, let me unmute you.
Hey, BJ, what's happening, honey?
Hey, happy Tuesday.
I see you got your bonnet on.
Girl, listen, I work from home, y'all. So I didn't even know Carlos King was interviewing Drew today. And when it popped up, I was just like, oh, I just got it together. So yes, I'm in my bonnet. But you know what? It's not a surprise to some of my subscribers because every now and then you might get the bonnet, okay? Every now and then. And today is one of those days I just did not have myself together. But here I go, because we're going to get the news out to you anyway.
Yeah, he announced last night that the Drew interview was coming out today.
Okay, I figured he did, because it seemed like he released it a little bit early, too.
He said 10 EST was the time.
Okay, usually I feel like he'd be usually doing
in the
about
afternoon.
12 o'clock. So did you watch You did watch his live last night? I didn't. I cannot with Claudia.
I
And
know. And
Claudia
Claudia
just
got
took
on my
over Destiny's
nerves.
spot. I'm like, Claudia, you are so freaking thirsty. I just cannot stand
And
Claudia.
she is still on the same thing, ragging Britt and Portia. I'm like, oh my God, can we get one day where you don't dog these people?
And then I saw they brought in Mimi to do the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They wanted Mimi to come in and talk about Ty. Mimi said Ty is definitely an opportunist.
I don't understand people when they say that about people on reality TV. Like, isn't that the point?
Well, but back in Mimi day, you know, she didn't realize that because that's when he first started being an opportunist. So
True.
she.
Well, true, but I think using telling somebody that they're opportunists because they wanted to be on reality TV.
That's how I feel a lot of times. What's wrong with being an opportunist?
That you would have to be an opportunist if you want to be on
she has
reality
to meet
TV. I would think that's the very characteristic you need to have is to be an opportunist. And if you're not, I mean, what would be the point in getting on reality TV? Because just like we see with Drew picked up very early. Well, here's the thing: Candy has been the most successful at it, but everybody knows or has gotten the idea of if you're going to be on reality TV, to have you some other stuff going on, like business wise and everything, because this is going to give you some what advertisement and bring in, you know, like sales and things, help your business out. So that would be the same thing as being an opportunist, is taking the opportunity, you know, like to capitalize on it. You would be
opportunity has to meet preparedness. Because if you get the opportunity and you ain't prepared, you still ain't nowhere.
Sheree, that's the only one. And Sheree has had 14 years.
Woo, Lord, tell me. And we ain't gonna even talk about Kenya in this hair salon. It's just ridiculous.
Well, actually, we can give Kenya and the hair salon, we can give her some props because she still did that in less time than Sheree.
Did what?
Sheree still ain't did nothing. That's what we're talking about.
Well, Sheree made some products. Kenya put up a building. She ain't did nair head of hair.
Now, well, first, Kenya's not a hairstylist though. I think people
but
forget
they said
that.
The other day they were saying that you know what it was? I was on with Michelle, ATLian.
Okay.
And we called the number that was on the site.
But did she go on the site? Because she only opened like Thursday, Thursday.
But look,
Friday,
it was a cell phone number.
Something.
Everybody kept saying that's got to be a cell phone number because it's a Detroit number. Girl, why can't you answer the phone? Trying to disguise her voice. And then she didn't even answer like a business. She just said, hello? Like she had to go and run and find her second phone. It was a mess.
My goodness. Now, listen, my own business. I have a second phone. I'm saying this to say I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think we old school.
Well, no, ain't nothing wrong with having, your cell phone. It's just that, but aren't you gonna treat it like a business?
Yeah, I mean,
if somebody call you asking about hair, you ain't gonna say go to my site. You gonna ask what you need done, tell them what you do, encourage them.
Well,
like I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Kenya's not a hairstylist, so she can't.
Well, you gonna tell them what happens in her salon?
So think about the lady who owns Mayel. She's not a hairstylist. She's not a cosmetologist either. So
but if she had a salon and she was answering the phone and someone called, I'm sure that she would tell them the services that they offer and try to encourage them to come in.
True.
She wouldn't just say hello and hang up on them.
Didn't do none of that.
Nothing.
She just told her to go to the
go to the site and book an appointment.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, okay. Well, this is the thing with Kenya. Like I said, I'm only gonna give her props because she did get it up off
At least she opened it,
right? Yeah, and it was sooner than Sheree got what she had going on.
After 100 grand openings, she opened it.
If you're not somebody who's ever taken a step out to do anything entrepreneurial, then you like kind of understand that
Well, let
and
her
give
tell
a
it she
little
a
bit of
serial
grace to that.
entrepreneur.
But the courage, not and for I'm speaking for my own self because my stuff that I did is such on a like a way small scale. I just opened a suite, you know what I mean, which is just a little room, and not to even talk about a whole building or anything like that. But it's scary to do that at all when you don't know if it's going to be successful.
Right.
And to Kenya's point, she probably is just scrambling to try to make anything work out of it, because let's think about earlier in the season. She already said she spent about $400,000 opening that.
And I don't think it's her building.
I believe her goal, which is so sad that she did what she did, you know, to be off the show, because I do think that she really, really was banking on being able to show the salon more and to be able to promote it more.
But I
On that,
think Kenya got a big enough fan base where she could make it a success if she just went on and did what it is she needs to be doing. I don't
which
know
I
what her
hope she
problem
does that
is.
on her YouTube. Like I haven't been back on the YouTube, and I'm not really sure if she has uploaded any other videos. I'm gonna go over here right now.
About as bad as Nene. Folks had to beg her for 10 years to start a YouTube.
But but I feel like what we forget though, like all of us that's been watching the Housewives since the beginning. First of all, this stuff wasn't. I think YouTube was here, but I think the other stuff wasn't. Like Instagram, I think Twitter had just kind of been popular. Twitter was the most popular, I would say. And then as these types of like bloggers started to use YouTube to review the shows. So let's think about the way that the reality TV people felt about bloggers, right? So at first it was like a stain to be a blogger. It was like, like you don't have a real job and all you do is, you know, like talk about people. And right. And so, and you know, the biggest offender, which was funny to me, was Dr. Heavenly. Because I'm like, it's so funny to me how now today you a producer, blogger, and everything else that you dogged other people out, you know what I mean, about being because you had an MD. And now here you are doing the same thing. You barely go to work, it looked like.
Do she?
Look like it to me.
Look, she already working part-time. She probably
exactly
now.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I wouldn't be so mad if she worked part-time, because that was kind of what she worked her way up to be in life. Dr. Jackie. Like Dr. Jackie hired in more doctors and she was able to rearrange her schedule. And not for nothing, you work hard to be able to do that. So yeah, but not to cut your damn doctor schedule so you can come over here and run over to YouTube. And actually, I feel some type of way about it with the reality stars, because it's like, leave that for the other people.
Like,
you know,
can we have a job? Because you know everybody gonna tune in to see what you talking about and run your numbers up. Let somebody else have something.
I sure always felt that way about Candy, though. I was like, Candy, you won't let nobody have nothing. Now I think she helps a lot of people, but I just think that I'm like, girl, would you just sit down somewhere? Let somebody else have it. Let somebody else get it.
Look, I was gonna say that's why I asked you for your email, because I do want to start a YouTube, but I'm trying to get my products together first. Because like you said, if you on YouTube, what's the point of being out there if you ain't got no other revenues, income?
Exactly, you want to have something, and totally, like, even though some of the process, like, it takes time, but what I've learned in my little journey, because I've been doing the content creation. I started in 21. And it's been a gradual thing because, you know, when I first started, I'm really not knowing what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of poking around to get more comfortable. And my page, so this is my second YouTube page, because my first page actually was taken. But it was doing really well, you know. But then, like I said, when it was taken, I got discouraged. And then I decided to just like go ahead, revamp it in 23 and just start, you know, again.
What happened? They shut you down?
Girl, I think so. I have an Amazon storefront, and I was posting Amazon products on the shorts to try to get traffic over to the storefront. And I think there was an item that they thought I was trying to post as something else, because it says something to do with like counterfeit or fraud like that. So that's what I'm thinking they was doing. And I know the exact purse that it was, but I never tried to say that it was something else.
Yeah, you didn't even fight it.
Exactly. I couldn't find how. So like I said, I just gave up, to be quite honest. Because I was just like, it was so devastating when you realize that you be doing this stuff and then they can just take it and all your work is just
everything
gone.
just gone. That's
Yeah.
I've seen it happen to several people, and I'm just like, ooh, child.
Yeah, I was devastated for about 2 weeks. Like, oh my God. Like I worked, and like you say, just to get comfortable. But here's the thing, like we tell everybody, you just keep doing it. It starts slow. You not gonna know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you do want to be prepared, because you never know what might like pop. Like what might take you from I barely got any subscribers to now I got 5,000. You know what I'm saying? And so you do want to kind of be somewhat prepared in it. Like if you do have a business, if you do have things that you want to promote, you want to be prepared to utilize that, to utilize the space. I did TikTok first because TikTok was a little bit easier and faster for me to navigate. But then we have a lot of things going on over there with TikTok. They going back and forth about a ban. Then TikTok
I'm not even on
a lot of their guidelines. So that's what made me decide to say, I'm gonna just come back over to YouTube. And then
I'm like, I don't want to get on TikTok, get a good following, then all of a sudden they just shut us down. So.
Exactly. Like it'll be all for nothing. And it is hard, even though you can get your people to transition from one place to another, that's hard to do. So if you can, I just say stick it over here. But more, yes, I don't have a problem with helping. I love like helping. I'll give you whatever information and tidbits I done figured out. Because now, like from when I started in 21, girl, I'm like, oh, I was just telling my cousin, me and my cousin was talking about it because he's been doing the same thing too. And we just saying how we've just grown in what we've been able to do, the thumbnails, learning how to use the different streaming and, adding videos and stuff like that. At first it would take me 5 hours to try to get a video ready.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, Lord, it's going to take me forever today.
And then too, I stopped like that, especially when you were trying to edit. So I felt like the editing sometimes held me back. So that's why I do a lot of lives, or I just do a lot of just rough drafts, like whatever. I just record it and put it out. I don't even worry about the editing part. I figure once I can hire somebody, or once I'm able to do more like on batch days or something, then maybe I'll go in and do a little extra. But for right now, I'm just more focused on the consistency and the actual content. And once I get that, then we'll work out if we need to tweak it and make it any better, because I'm a perfectionist in that way. And that's why I'm saying that would kind of hold me back from getting stuff done, because I'm like, oh, I gotta
that's my
thing.
You want it to be
it's too late to post it because it's old.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, so, but like I say, get started. That's the only thing. Like, just get started. And most things that you're gonna want to find out, you can find it out right on YouTube.
Right.
That's how I learned how to make my intro video. That's how I learned how to do the what's the thing on your page that's at the top, whatever that's called. But that. Now, what else we gonna talk about? Oh, go back to Drew and Ralph. So what was it with Ralph? So she was saying they got married early, or really quickly. That she kind of is feeling like she's not sure if Ralph ever really cared about her. I kind of feel the same. funny enough, I think Ralph was always probably trying to use her.
Exactly.
And I
She
sympathized
said,
with
I found
Drew.
me a good dummy.
Yeah. And I feel bad for that because I sympathize with Drew just because I kind of have at least my own similar experience with having a longtime partner that really I'm calling it narcissistic abuse, honey. Listen, I'm all over TikTok telling them I am a survivor of
Of a narcissist.
narcissistic abuse. But I mean it. I'm laughing but I do mean it, because once you really start to dig in and analyze like people's behaviors and even your own, right? So like I feel like that's why I like Angela. Angela is a Chi-Town girl for me. Now, I always made fun of Drew because I'm like, Drew from the suburbs, even though they keep telling me Drew went to Simeon. So she is definitely supposedly from the city. But I said she must have moved when she was really young because she don't act like a city girl to me. She
No,
doesn't.
ain't like Chicago City girl. Huh?
Yeah, like, yeah, she not as
Street
authentic.
smart.
And right, yeah, she don't give me that. You move way too shifty, like one of them hoes in the suburbs. Now Angela is giving me Chi-Town. Like I'm like, yes, that's
All day, every day, yeah.
all day, every day. I'm like, she got it.
Angela's
That's
something
the
else for
girl right
herself.
there. Unless even though they just said, I think Charles said she from the west side, because that's what I'm
Oh,
finna
that's
say.
with the
Maybe
Wild Wild West.
maybe Drew from the east side or something, because you
Yeah.
damn sure not from the south side. And
Are you from Chicago?
from Chicago, yes.
I was born in Chicago, South Side, 86 and Drexel.
So south side myself. So my uncle and auntie, they live there still to this day for the last 30
My
years.
folks
Live
still
on
there.
76 and Cornell. I went to St. Albee Elementary from kindergarten till third grade. We moved to Indiana when I was in middle school. But also Hyde Park. That's kind of my little stumping grounds too. Girl, I had such a good time when I was out there this weekend. It had been so long since I really had the chance to just enjoy, walk around. We went and had lunch and it was just beautiful. So I'm actually, just in case anybody pop on, I am actually doing a pop-up location in Hyde Park in June 20th through the 22nd. As a matter of fact, I need to put that on as my background. Take a page from Funky Dineva's book. And I will be doing, so what I do is brows and lashes, lash extensions, micro shading, brow tinting, brow lamination, those types of services. So
what I need right now.
Huh? We say what
I
you
said
need
something
right
I need
now.
right now. I'm
Yes,
just scared
ma'am.
to let anybody do it.
Really?
Girl, I had such a problem with my last nail shop where they messed up a toe. I just been scared to have any beauty stuff done.
Oh, I can understand that. I can understand that, especially when you talk about that toe. What they give you, some type of fungus or something?
Mhm.
Well, you got to watch it with some of those shops. It's always good if you can find.
And look, this is something. It ain't like I just switched up. This is the same one I've been going to for years and years.
No, I get it though, but they
I just
don't.
had a different person who did it. Because I
And
don't even
what
know
I'm
if it
going to say, it's just because of the shops and the way that they operate, it's their cleaning. Like you cannot be sure about their sanitation. At least if you're going to one person, you know what I mean? That person, and there's only one person in that place who's servicing all her people. She's probably a lot more sanitized than the bigger shop that's got all of that coming
Because
around.
people ain't going to follow the rules, honey. They going to cut
Exactly.
everywhere they can.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. And so, but yes, because I actually did have to close my suite. Well, I closed my suite, decided to, because my clientele wasn't really matching up. I'm waiting on a different suite location that's kind of taking a little while. And so in the meantime, listen, I'm coming to the city. I'm coming to Chi-Town so I can build up some clientele out there, because a part of my goal is I do want to kind of be like a master brow artist. So I would love to go and travel, maybe do classes where I can teach other people to micro shade, do tinting, things like that. So we'll see. We just gotta get
So
it
you in
going.
Indiana now? You live in Indiana?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Where?
I'm by Indianapolis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather lived in Gary.
Okay, now we did.
Years.
That's where we moved to from Chicago, is Gary. But I don't like Gary all that much.
I know, baby. Gary is like a deserted town now.
It sure is. I tell people all the time. So I have 3 sons, and which I had my sons in Gary. But we moved. I've been living in Indianapolis now about 15 years. So I'm saying that to say that Gary is not my hometown, and I'm not that attached to it, even though I did graduate high school there. And I had my babies. That's about the most attachment that I have. But like right now, today, I don't ever have to go to Gary, and it would be
Ever
perfect
again.
time with
Oh,
me.
goodness.
I'm like, and when I am driving in there, I do my spirit feel low. You know what I mean? And I'm like, get me the hell out of here. Man, I will go for food though. That's why I say I might have to stop over there on that 47th to Broadway and give me some of them tacos, give me some sopes. But as long as I can get to Chicago and give me some Harold's chicken, I might be all right. Because I got
I go to Chicago. My first stop is Italian Fiesta Pizza.
That's funny. My first stop is always Harold's. Always.
I don't like that chicken.
My son was we was meeting each other for the Beyonce concert, and so we was meeting at my mom's house. But he called me on the phone while I was at Harold's. He's like, I see you kind of stopped off somewhere. He got my location. And I was like, yeah, I'm at Harold's. I'm like, I can't sit down until I get some Harold's. Right?
Can't even rest. You got that.
Exactly. Yeah, I cannot sit down until I have some Harold's.
I do not like that chicken.
No, I love it. I love it. I get gizzards all the time. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely don't eat no gizzards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Mississippi. Well, that's where I grew up.
I'm country like that, girl. Yes, give me some gizzards. Like, I'm gonna eat them all up. My kids like them too. That's funny. They do. They love them. What else we gonna talk about with Drew Buck? Are we going back to because that's what I was saying with Ralph. Like, so I did sympathize with Drew in that sense, because I just know what that's like, and I didn't equate being that way to a certain area of where I was from. But because like I said, I kind of felt myself in a similar position where I seem to be just stuck with this person in this toxic, cycle for a long time. And a lot of it, like, you have to analyze your own accountability and your own actions, that keep you in places too, not just what they have done. And a part of it for me is the loyalty factor. Like, I am loyal to a fault, and that's why I'm very protective over, like, I'm friendly, but I'm protective over who comes into my space, because I am loyal, and I need, like, whoever gets it.
You need that back.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, in June last year, I ended a 24-year relationship because I was just tired of being tied. And it was always with the thought of, we're going to split apart and see if we can make some changes and come back together. Nigga ain't changed not one thing about itself. So
I believe you, honey. I believe you, because that's how it be. Like, that's, and it's like, and especially if you are like a vessel. And what I mean by a vessel, like, if the blessings come through you, if you are the person. And I think for women, I think we represent that. Like, what I've always learned in church is that women make everything better. So you can have a house, but when you get, bring a woman into it, she makes it a home. Like, you can, like, you have sperm, but when you add it with the woman, you get kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always have looked at myself as somebody who made things better. And that's the reason, and that's what I thought I would bring. But I had to really analyze, just even in the course of my life, during the times when I was doing the worst and the times when I was doing the best, and who the hell was around. That's kind of how I started to see, like, okay, like, God has let me know that you ain't no good. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm good for you, but you're not good for me. So that kind of had to start, like, I just had to let that start sinking in and praying about it. And like you said, mine was a slow, because we actually had not been in a relationship in quite some time. It's just we had these kids, and we had this, like I said, just this thread. I allow him to keep this thread in my life, you know. And it was a choice I made. I'm not regretful of it at this point, because I think I did it for the best reasons. But it's just kind of like, damn, I wish I would have picked up on it a little bit sooner, and not have kind of utilized that type of time in that space. But everything happens for a reason. That's why God works the way he does, because I think also kind of what I like what Carlos told Drew in that was just saying that I felt like the same with me. It's like the stuff that I went through was so bad, because you can never go through that again. Like, you're gonna have to take that and remember, and that like how to move forward and what to look for when you moving forward. And the one thing about somebody who's inconsistent, and the inconsistent is inconsistent in anything. Like, if they can't show up at their own damn job every day, you can't show up for me. You know what I mean? Like, you're not showing up for your own self. We sometimes don't even look at that type of stuff and use those things to analyze what we, like how that person, what their character is, and how they can even fit into our life. But now, since I've been through so much with that person, honey, I don't think nobody can get much past me. But I got PTSD too, honey.
Are you in a relationship now?
I am not currently. I am not. I'm in a relationship with myself. That's what I would like to say.
Yeah.
I became a mom when I was 19. I had my first son at 19. And by the time I was 25, I had all three of my sons. And not from that, which is fine, because today I'll be 45 in June.
And you can live your life.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, my youngest just made 20. They're good boys. And even though I was a helicopter mom, I am a mom who is okay with my boys having their life. And, because I know that's the way it go. We still are very close. But again, I'm at this point where I can focus more on myself. I can pick up some of those things I put down when I was young and needed to focus on being a mother. That's kind of what led me back to my beauty journey, is because I went to beauty school when I was pregnant with my second son, but I never did complete. And I never did go back. I ended up going into medical billing. And that was just for the stability, right? I'm like, okay, I want benefits. I want to be able to take vacation, X, Y, Z. So I went into medical billing, and that's what I've been doing up until, this whole time. I still do medical billing now, but I'm back in reintroducing myself into this beauty industry. And actually, I never actually left. I always had some type of something I was doing that referenced beauty, whether it was Mary Kay or, just kind of doing hair from the house, because I knew how to do hair. So I had, a couple people that would ask me to. And like I say, now all the way to I'm doing the brows and lashes. And I want to add that in. I want to do esthetician also. So we'll see how that goes. Because I think I've always been a person that really felt like women, if you look good, you kind of feel good, and then you just can be your best self. Also, as long as you being your best self, when you can be your best self, you might not be susceptible to some of these games these people be out here playing, right? You know, I do think that all go along with each other, because I had to, like, as I sat and analyzed myself about that situation I was in, I really just had to say, like, as highly as I thought of myself, most times I really didn't make decisions that added up to me thinking a lot about myself. I made decisions that didn't seem like I cared about myself very much at all. The point was that I was caring about somebody else more than I was caring about myself. And I feel like we do learn that lesson for some reason. And that's not a good way to be. You have to learn how to take care of yourself first, so you can be your best self for everybody around you. So I did sympathize with Drew in that. And I'm just gonna hope that Drew is able to get this divorce from Ralph, because I don't think that I think Ralph is going to try to hold on as long as he can. He seems like he's that, whatever that narcissistic abuser, you know, those traits look like, he seemed to be displaying them. Like, I know we're not no doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose anybody with any type of personality disorder, but I do know that this guy, he just has a lot of traits from what we read about what those traits look like. And so I'm hoping that Drew is just able to kind of close that chapter and move on. Drew is pretty. She lies a lot, but I think she's pretty enough to get her a new man pretty soon. Let me see. Let me put my coworker up on my computer. Miss Duke. Oh, there you go. Okay. You back? Let me put you back. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I kicked myself out by mistake.
No problem. So,
and
what
I
else?
was just talking, and I was like, "What's wrong? She's just talking over me."
What you say? Go ahead. Let me know.
I don't even know what I was saying. I forgot.
Well, what else did Drew happen to? Oh, Portia. She kind of said that she realized Portia is not a girl's girl. What do we think? Well, I think I would have to agree with that. Even though I do like Portia, is Portia a girl's girl? No.
I've never really been a Portia fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to agree. And now I really fell out with her when she did that stuff to Nene.
What she do to Nene?
About the Upshaws.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I was like, see, Portia, you really are just underhanded.
I wonder what that was about, though. I wonder if
Portia was mad. Portia texted back and said she was mad because Nene was hanging out with the ops.
Oh, that's what it was. She was right. She was with Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Which is still pretty dumb.
Yeah, it was.
With Simon.
I was
Simon
more so
with
wondering if she didn't want to like seem like she was betraying like NBC
the network.
Right.
By that time, Nene was back in with the network, right? That's how she was able to get this show.
She just got in with the network but she's still trying to make sure she stay in. But you know, now I want to see Nene do something different. I like the new shows that they're talking about, like the wife swap. I like the idea of getting some old housewives to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how Drew, and I'm gonna have to tell Carlos or send him a message. Stop asking these girls who they dream, like housewife cast would be. First of all, because they don't have any like experience to just call off people's names. All they're gonna do is go back and regurgitate
their favorites.
Exactly, and my point with Real Housewives of Atlanta in general is that it's 16 years old. We don't need to see Nene again. I love Nene. I just want to do something else.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, and Sheree. That's what she said. Kenya, Nene, and Sheree for sure. I remember. I wrote that down.
Now I might see those people showing up every now and then. You know, like on soap operas, how they have people who've been on there forever. Maybe show up every
Right.
now and then, but you got to keep it new and fresh. We
But I
got to keep
think
new
even
people
if they
coming.
show up every now and then, I don't think it should be on Atlanta. Like, because I do think that they should get a full new cast.
What I mean by show up
And it
every
should be
now and
a
then
really
is,
good
you know,
show
it's
with
a party
anybody
going on,
old.
and Nene just happens to be at the party. That's what I
Or
mean.
they do the girls trip. I like the ultimate girls trip idea.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Brandy, I think, ruined that a little bit. So we'll see if they come out with that. But yeah, I thought that was a great idea in a way to have the old housewives transition to something new and that keeps them still relevant, right? Because that's the reason why you can't get rid of them is where else they gonna go and make the money that they make to do nothing.
Right.
Really, you know, like, yeah, no, don't nobody want to leave. I wouldn't want to leave, to be quite honest, you know, shit.
Right, I'd be kicking and screaming going.
Right, yeah, like, are you kidding me? But I do think that there should, like, that's what I'm like, stop asking them people that question because.
But at some point, you gotta go.
I would think so.
Like it's time for Kyle Richards to go.
Now let me put up I'm going to, let me see if I can find, because they're doing they're about to film the reunion pretty soon. Andy posted on Twitter, he taking questions for anybody who want to see if they can get their question answered on the reunion. So what I am going to do is I'm going to share the seating chart that I made up. Let's see if you could agree with it or not. Let me see if maybe I already got it on here.
And I hate the seating chart thing. Ever since that time when on Potomac, when Wendy told Andy she had all these receipts and all this just so she could get the first chair, and got there and it was a bomber. She didn't have.
Who you talking about? Was it Wendy or what's her name?
That was Wendy. Now you know when Monique brought her binder, she had some stuff. Wendy pulled that move and they have nothing.
Wendy did. Well, I'm done with Wendy because she took a picture with Snoop Dogg and I couldn't believe her. Like, not you, the one who like,
Recently?
Yes, they went to Upfronts. They was at NBC Upfronts. As a matter of fact, last week was when she last week was when she did it. And that's what I said. You got your tail starstruck, you know, at NBC. Like, get out of here. And that's what really bothers me about us sometimes. Like, we can't never stick to nothing. But if you take now this is where I'm going with Wendy. That you'll get your tail in front of them girls and you'll talk about them, you'll call them everything but a child of God. And yet as smart and intelligent and everything that you had to say about this last election, here the first thing you do is go stand next to this girl. I said it on her little post. I told her I was not that she cared, but I did post. I'm like, I am disappointed about this right here. Now I could take this from anybody else except for you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you the one who educating everybody about you.
She a fraud.
Yes, and that showed it. That showed it right there, which is kind of why, that's what I say, that's why y'all hate Giselle, because Giselle don't give a F. And really, that's the whole thing. Like, if you're gonna be on reality TV,
you kind of gotta be like a Giselle. That would be me. You're right. If I was on a reality show, I would definitely be a Giselle.
You would have to be, because everybody gonna have an opinion anyway, so you're gonna have to not care about it.
That girl don't give a damn. She
don't give 2 F's.
Rose and set on her, and can't nobody tell her no different.
2 F's, honey. She don't care. Not one bit. Say what you want. Let's see. Okay, but this is my seating chart. This is what I came up with. Now, I think I made this seating chart up last week, okay, after the episode last week, because I knew we were about at the halfway point. And so I knew they should be getting ready to film, film this reunion. So my first chairs I have is Portia and Shamia. It's funny that at the time the rift hadn't really got to the head, but I could just, from the castmates and the fact that Kenya is not even on the show, it just kind of said this is probably where we're going to be leaving off at when the season ends, is the state of their friendship. Because I feel like, even though I think Shamia has all but answered that question by saying like she's pretty much done, and I think that Portia's seems to be pretty much done. So I think their friendship might be as close to over as we have ever seen. And that's kind of, I'm sad about that. I'm sad about that because I know they had a genuine friendship. I'm not sad about it because I think that Shamia sabotaged it on purpose. And I feel like Drew co-signed that. Do you think she did in this interview?
Yep.
Okay. I felt like she co-signed it when she was talking about the pinky swear and the conversation that they had. I said, okay, now I see why Kelly had to speak up. Y'all all talked about this. Shamia knew that was happening. That's why she had to call her mama and have her mama pray for her. See, when people be talking about they come in some room and they uneasy, it ain't always because they gifted and they got the, like this power of discernment. No, it's because your ass been somewhere sitting in the background plotting and planning.
What you said? But I do think that Portia and Shamia probably have the most to discuss. The thing is, are they gonna discuss it?
Now that you're right. I think Shamia will try. Portia
is just shut down.
She is
on this subject.
She is, and I'm having like, I almost don't blame her. I feel like that's the way I would be handling Shamia. I really do.
I would be so mad at Shamia.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I feel like I would be handling her that same way. I would have nothing for her.
And the killing part about it is they probably talked about it before the season and said that they were not going to discuss their friendship and bring it to the show. And
I'm with you. I think it ain't no way y'all didn't talk about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm saying I would have absolutely zero for Shamia. Like zero. You would think I thought you was dead. The way it would be so silent around here. I would like, and that's when because that would, and I thought about it yesterday. It's funny, it came to my mind because I had forgotten, because I can, especially if you meet somebody who knows how to detach from things, then because that can be really cold. But as I said, I almost forgot. But I did have a friendship, and it kind of had this ripple effect where I kind of fell out with the kind of group too because it was over that one thing. And part of it was because I wasn't complying with what was being said because all of this stuff was talked about without me. And so you don't you don't discuss and decide and come up with whatever it is and then decide to include me in on it. Because I've just already already know that when somebody has made their mind up about how they feel about something, whether it's you, the situation, or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to change their mind. And I'm not the one to do it. If you want, I think if you care enough about me, then you'll give me the opportunity. If I've done something, to you that hurt you, but you're not going to use one incident to come and tell me about 3-4 incidences that you've been holding on to and talking to, another friend, another supposedly friend. Because even when the supposed friend comes and brings it up to me, now I'm looking at you because I'm thinking, what Candy say? If a person has a problem with me, but they haven't discussed it with me, they don't have a problem with me. You got a problem, but it ain't with me. So that's like, if she discussed it with you, then she discussed it with you. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm not about to discuss it with you. So that's it. And I feel that with Portia. That's the attitude I feel she has. And I 1,000% agree. You discussed it with Kelly, Drew, Angela, and now you want to talk to me? What we got to talk about? We don't have a damn thing to talk about. Go talk to them. That's what I tell her. Go talk to them. The ones that listen, the ones that made you feel heard, the ones who agree with you. Like, go talk to them, because that was shiesty. So yeah, I'm putting that on Shamia. I'm putting it all on Shamia. And I agree with, I think Angela called it on that after show when she said that this has been Shamia's long game. I said, damn, you clocked that for real, because now you think about it and that makes all the sense. It makes all the sense. Of course you've been wanting to get on this show. That's why you've been around all this time. That makes sense. And the first chance you get, that's what I was saying last night. The first chance you get, y'all friendship don't last the first 6 months. Yeah, you sabotaged that. You had a plan to sabotage it. So I'm giving them first share. Now, I actually do want to switch. I want to put Brittany at the end. Oh, is that her name? Britt. I want to put her on the second side, on the other side of Kelly, and have Kelly sitting next to Portia. And probably switch Drew as well. Probably put her in that second position behind Shamia. What do you think? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, get in the comments, y'all. Tell me. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends. But I'm thinking I could switch them two around. Because I think Drew has a little bit more, but I don't think she will be first chair. Do y'all agree about Shamia and Portia having first chair? We definitely think Shamia and Portia will have first chair. Who we got sitting second?
I like the way you had it at first, but then now this is kind of making sense. But look, I was gonna say it. I kept talking. I don't know what was going on. I was in there, but you just couldn't hear me, so I went out and came back in. But I was gonna say, do you remember the Mother Love show?
I do. That's so old, girl. But okay, because she was like heavy set, right? Okay, tell me.
My sorority sister. But anyway, this by the time I got there though, Robin Givens was the host of the show. Forgive or Forget was the show.
Okay.
So me and a friend, I called the show and said that me and my best friend had fallen out, what we had fallen out about, and I got a call back about us going on the show. We gonna be on the show. We've already talked about how this is gonna go down and everything before we get out there. But of course, she gets in the green room, talking to the producers, and they done flip the script on me. And she decides to say she's not gonna forgive me and all the reasons why, and put all our business literally in the streets on national TV. And I just could not believe it.
I'm gonna have to go back and find this episode. No.
And to this day, I have 0 words for her. So that's what I was saying.
We can never talk back. Girl, don't you get me on national television and then just throw me under the bus like that?
Exactly. Cried and booed like I had really did something to her some more. I was like, okay. So now I kind of understand how these reality TV shows and things work, because the producers will flip you.
For sure. And that's why I'm saying, like that's why I say sometimes the reality stars or personalities, they annoy me with some of their explanations, because what the first thing Drew get on here saying is, well, you only get to get a little piece of my life, and I wanted to do the interview so I could, basically give you more. As soon as Carlos asked her, like, why did you accept coming on Real Housewives of Atlanta? The answer is, so I could show my real self, because I know that the people didn't know much about me. Girl, if you want to show the people your real self, reality TV is not where you go. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And I don't think we need another reality star to take the time to explain to the public that you only see a portion of their life.
And
no,
you know this.
Freaking duh. We only
Right.
want you for an hour.
You want them to shine. Just say that. Tell the truth.
Exactly.
You want the world to know you.
I said, now listen, your ass was broke, because not for nothing, any reality television personality.
Oh, she needed that check.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm getting to. If you had, okay, we're not talking about Nene, Sheree, Deshaun Snow. We're not talking about none of them people we had no idea who the hell they was before they came on our TV screen. We're talking about these people who we did know who they was. Now, I'm going to give Sanya. Sanya didn't get on there because she needed money. Sanya was just relocating and just thought it was.
You know what? Unpopular opinion. I think Sanya was great for the show. But
I absolutely did too. I like Sanya though. I have a soft spot. And
I didn't even really like her that much, but I thought she was great for the show.
Yeah, I do. I watched Sanya when they had their reality show on. WeTV.
I didn't watch
she first got married and stuff. So I've always been a big fan of hers. I was excited when I knew she was coming on. And I agree with you. I thought she was good for the show. I thought she was good for the show because she's okay being herself. And
okay being herself. Don't mind speaking up. Actually got a husband and a family.
all of the above. That's correct.
She was just shit if you ask me. She did not get a fair chance.
She didn't. I would agree with that. She did not. I think, you know what I think happened? I think it was Drew. Oh, there you go. I got how to get to the private chat too. Okay, now oh shoot. Okay. But I think that was Drew too. I think Drew is an actress. And the thing is, and the whole her being this kind of liar type of person, I think more people resonate with that than they want to admit, because probably more people live their life like that. So I feel like with her pulling the antics and stuff, she just kind of was able to overshadow Sanya. Because Sanya, she's just a matter of fact, this person, type of person. She's not going to be over the top. You know what I mean? She just called it didn't really sit well or fly with the public, and now we don't have her. She would have did good if she was on. I would have took her this season over Britt.
Oh God, yeah.
Now I wonder if we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes about what the hell is going on with Britt, because everybody and their mama seem to say Britt whole life is a lie.
Britt. What did Britt do? Everybody got a problem with her. Portia. Which is scary.
Except for Portia.
Which is scary. If you only got Portia right.
It is. In the words of Heather Dubrow, if everybody telling you are dead, it is time to lay down. I love that, because what did Britt do? I need more, and I wonder if it's gonna play out on the season. I wonder. I gotta know. But apparently, honey, everybody thinks she's a liar, and whatever it is going on with her and her situation, ain't none of it true. It ain't about the right. And we can look at the husband. The husband looked like he might be an ex-crackhead that just got out of jail about 2 years ago. Y'all should look like they should be on like Love After Lockup.
She
And
said an
not on,
ex-crackhead. I cannot.
I don't know. What is it a better word to call ex-drug addict? Oh, a recovering drug addict. That sounds better.
Okay. A recovered
Allegedly.
drug addict. Okay.
Because
Oh
he sound
God.
like, because he don't look as bad as an active drug addict, right? But he looked a
Very
little
much
rough,
so.
like he just getting himself together.
Now he's one of the Muslims that you should have just left in the house. Instead
So
of
he don't want to
husband.
film. Yeah, but honey, I can't wait to get to it. So maybe, I think, you know what? Maybe this setup is fine. Maybe we do keep this setup this way. And I do think Drew got to come up though, because her and Portia, Drew and Portia got a little bit before we even get down to Angela. Yeah, I think probably those two flip. And that's it. I don't think nothing else really do need to change. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know, what are your seating chart suggestions? Who got first chair and who's gonna have the second seat right behind that? I guess they are getting ready to film. He did say that they was filming for sure. If I keep finding nets all around my plants, I guess that's a good thing, right? That means they still alive. You know what? We might be having a bad connection. We might be having a bad connection. Well, guys, I think it is almost time for me to get out of here, Miss Dugan. I think we're having a bad connection. It is a little rainy out this way. I got AT&T, honey, but sometimes AT&T be okay, phone died. Okay. Sometimes AT&T be tripping. Did y'all ever notice on the new iPhones when the battery going dead, and especially when it's getting ready to die, that your volume goes down? It took me a little while to pick up on that because I'm always pressing my battery to the limit. I was just saying that I asked the guys if they ever noticed that when your battery going low, that your volume goes down on your phone, on these newer phones. Miss Dugan, we can hear you. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Okay, look. Hello out there.
Girl, yeah, now I know what happened because it sure had went low. I wasn't even paying the battery gauge any attention. I had no idea I was low.
That's what I said. It take me a while before I even pick up on it anyway. By the time I realize it's shutting off, I'm like, oh, that's why I can't hear.
Well, now I know. I didn't know that.
But yeah, good. Big ups
But
to
I heard you
Carlos
say we was
King.
about to wrap it up. But
Yep, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. Big ups to Carlos King. Carlos is really getting some pretty good interviews. I think he's the perfect person for it by him being a previous producer for a lot of the shows. I think these cast members just trust him. And really, I don't
since you
think
brought that up, and before we head out, what do you think about all the hate that Carlos get? About as much as Mona Scott used to get. I just don't
yeah, you
understand
know
it.
what? I think us as a Black community, we need our asses whooped sometimes because it's just the same thing I think
Tyler
about
Perry.
people who have something to say about Beyonce. You cannot like a person. You might not be interested in what this person is doing. But when you see somebody being successful, number one, and not just being successful, but also bringing along more of us, the second thing, the least you can do is let that person shine in peace and don't have, negative, nasty things to say about him to disparage his character or to bring him down. I think anybody who does that is just low vibrational, right? You got a low level way of thinking, and you really don't know much about success or how to manifest it, because that's looking down on somebody who's doing something good. That's not the way you manifest good things to happen in your life.
And I'm
I
so
think,
glad he know how to fly above it, as Candy say.
well, you know, here
Fly
the
above all
second
that.
part about it though is, if I feel like if you're gonna do those things, you have to. You have to. Otherwise, it's going to break you down. Now, did Love and Marriage Huntsville? Because I was watching Love. As a matter of fact, when I first started doing my YouTube channel, that was the show I started reviewing, was Love and Marriage. They was on their second. I want to say the second part of the first season is when I started, because I actually did fall in love with it. And this is pre all of the, mess that ended up coming out. Now I watched Love and Marriage DC. I watched Detroit. Detroit is on, or just wrapped up. I think they're doing the reunion. And I was going to do a recap on the reunion, but I have to admit, this is a little boring. And I think it's about the break that he has to take, or the show takes in between the whole season. It's like a year break or something. It's ridiculous, if you ask me. And the thing that happened with Love and Marriage Huntsville is that it really just took on a lane of its own. It played out in social media, which helped the show, because now it brought a lot of eyes onto the show, and then it's on the OWN network. Because again, Oprah Winfrey Network was not doing well. All they had was her programming on Sundays, and Ayanna Fix My Life. That was it. That damn station was about to go bankrupt if it wasn't for Carlos King. But so we got two things going on, and it's only us talking, you know what I mean, to have anything disparaging to say about him. But the first thing is that he got his show on a black network, and not fucking TV One or goddamn Tubi. Like, it's Oprah Winfrey. That's a big deal, and now he has Bell Collective, three of the Love and Marriages. That's 4. I feel like there's a fifth one. that he got on there. So I think Carlos is doing his thing. Now, is he messy? Yes. I think he's very messy. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. Okay, I got that message. You saying whenever it come back and ring, it'll cut you out. Kind of like FaceTime, when you do like FaceTime. Okay, I got you. But yeah, you listen, Carlos is messy. I know it's been some rumors about him with
He's
Candy.
admittedly messy. He know he's messy.
The shows wouldn't be good if he wasn't messy. Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. It's kind of like,
Reality
y'all,
TV
we
is
gotta
a
take
messy
everything
industry.
with a grain of salt. You can't have this without that. You know what I mean? Like, what type of see, that's the thing. When Love and Marriage Huntsville came on, I actually started looking at it, and I started looking at it for the exact purpose of what they presented, which was these 3 Black couples in Huntsville, Alabama, all in like the housing area, wanting to get together and build housing for their community. That was the premise of that show.
But
and
then it was gonna be some mess involved. Maybe not the type of mess it ended
well,
up
right,
being,
we
but
knew that,
it was
right?
gonna be
I agree
mess.
with you. I agree with you about that. You know that something was gonna happen, right? But we didn't expect what did happen. And also what did happen, and this is what I mean, like, nobody gives this credit, because that Carlos didn't have anything to do with it. That was the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, Carlos didn't have anything to do with who went and found who that girl Ariane was. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that all happened. Never.
As a matter of fact, I'm sure he would prefer if you didn't. He would prefer if you kept it just to the show and not took it to social media. But we don't know how to do that.
He says that a lot too, because I think he feels like he has to explain why his show doesn't line up the way he feels like the audience is thinking it should go. Now, I'm not sure what the future of Love and Marriage Huntsville is now that Melody has officially bowed out and she won't be back next season. I know that they are filming. I know it's Destiny, Destiny, Kimmy, and Tisha. I don't know what this looked like. I guess
Well, look, I actually like Detroit. You said you didn't like it. I was gonna say, I think
I
I'm
liked
still
it
gonna
when
be
it first
interested
came
in
on, but when
Huntsville.
I came back to watch the second half, I was not interested.
But now I don't know, since Brandon and Christina are divorcing, I don't know if they still gonna be there, and I watched for them really.
Wait a minute, Brandon and Christina.
Not getting a divorce, they are divorced, as a matter of fact, is what Carlos said.
When did he say that last night?
Yep. He read their statement. They wrote a statement. And you know, everybody was saying during
Now,
the
is this
reunion.
the one that was going? They was going back and forth with the separation and stuff too. Anyway,
The
right?
one with the white mama. And he had moved out and all
Okay,
that.
right. That's what I'm saying. That was the one that he had. They got the two girls, and he came back talking about how he asked her for a divorce. Oh yeah, she needed to divorce his ass
Look, all
anyway.
season long, people have been saying, and during the reunion, that something in the milk wasn't clean. They didn't act like they were really together, so they didn't know if to believe them or not. I said,
And
people the
but
public
here's the
don't they be
problem
reading shit. The
where it
public
comes
be picking up.
this is the problem where it comes to Carlos's shows, though, because here's the thing: what we just saw play out for the second half of that, they probably filmed that over a year ago.
Exactly. So they
And
couldn't talk about being divorced.
exactly. So like, right, and it makes them look crazy, even though. And I'm not. This don't have nothing to do with Carlos either. I guess it's the network, which
Right.
all need to get on top of it, because what are y'all doing?
Hey, craziness.
Yeah, just craziness.
If it's gonna be 10, just gonna give us 10 and call it a day.
And right, yeah, come on with it. I don't know why they have to do them breaks like that. And like you said, and then it's so off with what you able to what you know is happening in real time, and then what you got to go back and watch. You know who just did that too? Real quick, I don't know if y'all watch Sister Wives, but they pulled that kind of mess this past season also.
Yeah, no.
And I guess it got to do with Garrison passing away, but it was kind of like, yeah, y'all played that all out of order, and it's really confusing for the audience. I think that can be a throw off for the audience, and that's, like I said, that's kind of how I felt, where it was hard for me to get back in to Detroit on that second half. And I actually don't like the one guy too. He is real. What Portia called
Anthony.
Yes. He is real sassy.
Most people can't stand sassy Anthony.
He is real sassy. Wait, he's a little too sassy for me.
He real spicy now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
and I can't stand his wife, Latoya. Well, her uppity elitist self.
That's what it seemed like they have a role reversal.
I know, right?
Like, I don't even usually call nobody out like that, but that's what I see when I see that. Like, what's going on? Because you act like you should be
definitely wear the pants.
Yes. But let's get ready to wrap this up. Like I said, I think Carlos is doing amazing. I think I wish he wouldn't do the recaps. I wish he would just kind of stick to the interviews. I like that coming from him. I do like his recaps with Dustin, because I do think when he's with Dustin, Dustin has a way to express his opinion, and it doesn't sound like vitriol coming from the bottoms of, like the depth of his soul of hate. He can have an opinion about someone and express it, and it'd be good, and we can move on. I think adding Claudia into this mix, which I was going to say something, because I think about Tamar. Tamar hang around a lot of gay men too. And I'm always wondering what that's about. I'm a feminist. I love like women. I don't have a large circle of women as my friends because I do think women are messy like everybody else, but my circle is tight, tight and small. But
What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Okay.
I am June 17th. So my birthday is coming up. And I think Gemini season starts tomorrow. So you Taurus, that's Kempire. Kempire, he always dogging us out too. I'm gonna get on his next live and make sure he knows that he cannot have any Gemini slander the whole time it's our time.
Gemini really hurt him.
Yes, I agree. Like I agree because I told him, I said, you don't miss a chance to say something about a Gemini, honey. You don't let nothing slide. And I don't know why, because we are the best people in the world. I ain't never met, I don't really know about Gemini men. I don't really know. But I think Gemini females are the bomb, baby. And if you get you one, you better keep you one. Because you ain't going to find nobody more loyal. You ain't going to find nobody funnier. And you're not going to find nobody who just going to keep it 100 with you. I know everybody loves to say about Geminis having a double personality. No, what they like to say is they two-faced. Two-faced is the opposite of what having a double person or a double sign is. What that mean is you can get with this or you can get with that. How you get it is gonna be up to you, okay? But we can get with this or we can get with that. Now that's up to you, and that's either we can be nice or nasty. That's up to you. Don't you think? What you think?
You're right.
Nice or nasty. Most of the time you'll get nice as long as you keep it cool. Yeah, because I think most Geminis have a very sunny disposition. Like we happy for the most part. But when you don't want to get on the bad side though, because the bad side is the bad side, and that's just what it is. And we don't play no games. That's what I love the Trick Daddy. What he say? I don't PL to the AY. I don't play. I'm the same way. I don't play games. People tell me I'm serious, and it's funny that I'm not. So I'm really goofy, right? I'm really silly, but it's in very specific things. But in like real life, real dialogue, like we can joke and have like sarcastic banter or whatever, but like playing practical jokes, being immature, that's kind of what I mean. Like, yeah, that I don't do that. We don't play practical jokes and all that kind of silly stuff. Don't play games with me. Be upfront, mean what you say what you mean, and we all good. We all. What's your sign, Miss Dugan?
Aries.
What is your birthday?
April 1st.
Oh, my uncle's birthday is April 1st. You know what I always tell them? A fool for a fool, huh? No. Born on the Fool's Day, huh? But that's cute. My son is my middle son. He is April 15th.
Okay.
And then I have a Taurus who's May 11th. I'm a Gemini and a Cancer. My oldest is a Cancer.
My sister's May 10th and my honey's May 16th. The day after both of you.
Yes.
The day after.
Okay, so you broke up with your guy for 24 years and now you already got your honey.
No, that's the same. I was just still calling him.
Oh, okay, you was just being polite, huh?
I be forgetting that ain't my man no more.
You're just being polite. Okay, cool. Well, let's get on up out of here. Thank you guys for joining me for Carlos's interview with Drew Sidora. I am going to get Basketball Wives up. I'll get that review up probably later on this evening. And I think we'll go live again. Oh, I'm supposed to go get my freaking lashes done. Okay, I might have to cancel that. No, I'm just looking at the time like I totally forgot. And well, we should come back tomorrow. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. Word on the Curb has been out. Okay, that's who I will do. We usually do Monday nights, and we're supposed to start doing our Wednesday nights, but we haven't been able to start that. However, I will go live tomorrow. And if all else fails, I know that Tubi is doing a recap or maybe like a synopsis of the Diddy trial and what's been going on, I guess, throughout the week. We can kind of go and check in on that. I haven't really been following the Diddy trial up close and personal, besides everything that's just coming down the social media timeline.
Oh my goodness. If you want to go catch up, go to Armand Wiggins' page.
Okay.
It is so funny. Yeah, and he's been having like 10 and 15,000 people watching. He's racked up, girl, he's made much money. I know he racked up 100 and some thousand views just since
Oh my
yesterday on one video.
goodness. Yeah. Well, I just got on his Instagram. Now, is he over on
YouTube?
Okay, I'll go over there on YouTube and check him out too there. And see what's what. And good, maybe he'll make it light for me, because some of this stuff this is so heavy. I'm like, whoa, I don't even know. I just was gonna cover it because it is a hot topic. I am on YouTube. You know, I guess, and you know, maybe we need to say something, but I just feel so drained by some of the just the information, and you know what I mean, all of it. I'm like, I don't even know. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is what I'm gonna leave on. I just want to know. Here's the thing. Everything these people are saying, everything Cassie is saying, I believe her 100%. I believe her 1,000% that all of that stuff happened. The only thing I'm kind of interested in finding out is if these charges that they have filed add up to what it is that's being said.
Right.
That's it. And
I
guess
guess
that's
the
the
thing
point.
is Cassie gonna get a charge? Those are my two questions. One, is everything that he's done add up to these RICO charges that y'all have put on him? And two, will Cassie the accomplice be charged?
Yeah, I mean, it's right. It's this tricky, like it seemed like this tricky, like stuff, and it like how as horrible as these things are, somehow it feels like these charges have just been like trumped or railroaded, or you know what I'm saying?
And we all agree that he did all that abuse.
Yeah,
she deserved every nickel of that $30,000 that she got. But does that equate to these RICO charges that they put on?
Right. And again, just like we're saying about, like what I was saying about Carlos, like to be in the Black community and to talk crap, talk down, you know, about somebody doing well and uplifting us. Like you just really got to be an asshole. I said, like I went to Beyonce's concert. Anybody, I've had a friend, I had to look her, you know, kind of crazy upside her head. You want to ask me what I think about room, sir, or something, like if I think something is wrong with this girl's child. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be an asshole to be that grown, and you know, to want to depict what something is wrong with somebody's child, and especially a mother. Like you a mother too, and that's what I had to tell this girl. I'm like, no, I don't think much about it, because if you come to me and ask me something about what's wrong with my child, I'm gonna ask you what the hell is wrong with you. Like, so yeah, no. That hurt. Like if it is, if it's not, that's not none of your business. And
you think to yourself, wonder why they never show sir and keep it moving.
If that's what you want to, but here's the other part to that too. It's all her prerogative. Like just because she has the kid, she's not obligated to show it to you. That's what I think we like. That's what I think we forget, is we get entitled to certain stuff, and see that's where the reality show, these personalities, that's where y'all get it twisted. Because nobody, like Drew, nobody asked you, not none of us. So if it's something that you didn't want us to ask or pry, or you know what I'm saying, be in, you offered this information. You offered yourself to us to judge and to, you know, get this information.
Yep.
What Beyonce does is what she does, and she gives us what she does. That don't include her family. If she
And that's
don't
what the
want it to.
Kardashians said. They was like, the world really think like we owe them to show them
Yeah,
every bit of our
exactly.
life. We don't owe you.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Like no, she don't. So, and that's what, because when the lady at the concert, we was walking, and she did ask me, like, you think what's up with Rue? What you think? I said, I think he's a little boy that don't want to have nothing to do with this shit.
No cameras and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's what I think. Why? Because and that's what I told her. I said, I have 3 boys. So yeah, I think I think he's a little boy that don't want to have nothing to do with this. He want to go play trucks or something, go flip around somewhere. That's what I think. That's what. And so same with her. Carlos is messy. It's his job to be messy. But is he reaching the top of his game? Yes. Same with Mona Scott. Love and hip hop. Now, it's funny the way we talked about the content Love and Hip Hop gave us. And now you have a whole network called Zeus that has taken what Love and Hip Hop did. And really now we talking about gutter TV. That's some gutter TV. But I'm not even gonna knock the people who do that. Money. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna, because that's not the television programming for me. Right. So I don't watch it. I'm not
gonna knock those that want to watch it.
That's correct. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna knock that man for doing good, about it. Like any guy, like in this time frame that we like I'll be 45, and we have seen what African Americans or Black people have had to go through just to be on TV. We've heard more about different things, in the past. So when you can see somebody create their own network, I don't give a damn if it is all of them fighting on there. We just gonna go up for them. Again, you ain't gotta watch it if it's not your cup of tea. But that's the thing that content creating has taught me the most. So take this with you as we exit out. There is an audience for everybody. I don't care what it is. And all you have to do is do it. So that's it. And that's why we're talking about when you are doing it, you got to get you a thick skin, or you got, you got to get that together, because not everybody will like it. And maybe it is out there. But what I'm saying, the main thing is to remember is there's an audience for everybody. So as long as you putting your stuff out, you'll find the people that's supposed to find you. That's that. And with that, y'all join me tomorrow.
So we
can keep stuff going on about Diddy, and look out for Basketball Wives video. And I gotta do Love Island. You know what? Maybe we'll get on and watch Love Island a little later. Because I feel like I'd rather watch that. Anyway, we'll see. Y'all make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and I'll catch y'all later, okay? Bye, y'all.